Coming up on Now You Made It Awkward podcast.
Oh, I saw one of those the other day. A deployable cover for the top of vans and shit in the parking lot. It's so dumb. Because that shit's going to get ripped off in a car wash the first time.
Or someone's just going to yank it off of there.
That too. You try to drive through some protesters. They're going to take off your roof protection. I mean, what? Now I see what you're talking about. Because he literally had a big truck-tarded truck pulling a trailer that was also truck-tarded and had another truck-tard on the trailer.
So it's a triple tard.
Triple tard. I saw ads.
See, I don't see the point of doing all that. You lose all the utilitarian aspects of having a truck. Can't go anywhere. Can't hardly do anything with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for sucking off dudes in a parking lot, I guess. But I don't know what they do with those mates.
Well, I know there's lots of girls in bikinis sometimes, and they're usually standing next to the trucks. So I assume that they're doing more of the vacuuming activities.
Maybe.
I didn't see any sandwiches getting made. Makes sense.
Yeah. So he's there looking after them, trying to make sure they don't die.
So he is narrating this the whole time.
The entire time.
He's narrating.
And it's
awesome. he spends all of his free time watching TV.
Yeah.
Starting to remind me of someone.
Yeah, he's downloading all. Yeah.
I was like, that would have been fun. Play on the show. Here's Chad's arrest video.
Yeah.
Why is his shirt off? Why is he being tased? Why did he yell the N-word 3 times? They were white.
I see her rolling up over black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.
So I know I told you guys, but we didn't get a chance to talk about it on the last show because my dad decided to take another tumble last weekend, last Sunday to be specific, and that was a nice expensive fall. Not because of any medical bills or anything, but because we had to replace a fucking TV that we just replaced.
What, like months ago?
2 months.
Yeah.
Almost to the date. It was literally 1 day more than 2 months.
He didn't like it.
Yeah. Well, the funny part is that
get him an old tube. He can't break it.
No, he'd find a way to trip into it. But
it'd fall on him.
Yeah, but that would actually be the thing, right? That would be the thing if you're going to be mean about it there, Jefe. Yeah. No, but the thing about it is that my mom thought he tried to grab the TV and took it down with him, but the TV fell the opposite direction of him.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he was flailing, like just going down, and an arm just swept it because it was so light. It was a little bitty 43 inch.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did he tip this over so easy? So I just set it up and I just went, and it was like, woo. I was like, oh, that was real easy. And even my aunt asked me the other night, is there any way to like anchor it? And I'm like, I could probably get like a long anchor strap and strap it to the wall, but it'd probably still fall, just not go to the floor.
Or just mount it on the wall with a wall mount.
Thought about that, but I'm sure that wouldn't work out very well. Somehow. I mean, the house is so old, I'm scared to drill into anything. If I'm being very fair about it, I'm scared to drill into anything at all. But we took that. My mom's not doing very good, honestly. Are there any updates to your mom?
They eliminated a heart attack. I'm
glad you finished that statement. They eliminated her heart.
They did an echocardiogram stress test. They're finishing up today. She should be home tonight.
Okay.
That's good.
She's irritated. They can't figure out what's wrong with her, what caused it.
Yeah.
She was having chest pains, pain shooting, running down her arm.
Yeah. So all the symptoms of heart. Well, there are those things that are literally non-heart attacks.
But they were looking for blood clots in her lungs and in her heart and legs. And
all the pulmonary shit. Yeah. Yep. I mean, sometimes shit just happens. I mean, old people could be getting old.
Well, that and she.
If it happened to you or me,
she's type 2 diabetic, and
oh yeah.
Sometimes lately she's been managing her diabetes well, but about a month ago her legs just stopped working.
Yeah.
I mean, she took a fall, and Dad had to run home and get her up. And
yeah, you mentioned that was Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Wait, did they start working?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You didn't mention that they ever went going again. They just stopped working. It was like,
well, she cut out every bit of gluten. She's not sticking anything in her mouth that's not either meat or vegetables. Yeah.
Sorry.
Bastard.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I just
those were her words.
She don't like me anyways. It's fine.
No, she
I'm not worried about making her mad. I made my own mother-in-law mad, so it's fine.
Yeah, let's hear about that. That was fun.
Okay, so yeah, I wasn't going to really touch on it, but I'll touch on it now.
No, you better.
So
Poke it.
somehow. So I actually scrambled to get an actual promo for last week's episode, the Starbucks barista story, which, by the way, I still love the title. I came up with that one. Freedom of self-expression. Wonder how many people got that joke. Either way, so the promo, I guess, so Jessica went back to Brian to go to her niece's birthday, I believe is what the party was. And I wasn't going to be off work in time. So I said, fuck it, you can go ahead and go. I got to edit this stupid ass podcast anyway. So I get the thing edited out and I put out the promo. And because Instagram is kind of stupid, it uploaded it to my Facebook, not the podcast Facebook. So, I mean, normally I don't care because we usually share everything, right? But she saw it first, apparently, and when I'm going off on my imitating the they them baristas, I think that's what pissed her off. I mean, you also said Puff the Magic Barista. I don't know if she was mad about that, but the rest of it, I was just like, I had other people watch it and go, hey, I'm not going to give you any clues, but like, how on a 1 to 10 scale, how offensive is this? And they're like, I mean, a 2, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe 4 or whatever. And I'm like, normally I don't care, but it is my mother-in-law. And she was apparently angry enough. Like, she was like giving Jessica an earful. And Jessica hadn't even seen it.
Is she the type of person that looks for things to be offended at?
No.
Okay, really?
No, this is the cool one.
So she just got butthurt.
I think that she had been slightly inebriated because apparently it was her day off. Mm-hmm. And so she probably had a few too many Bud Lights. And I have no problem with this woman. She's usually really very fucking awesome. Whenever she said her mom was mad, I thought she meant the other one that usually would get mad about us being remotely insensitive about things. Sissy,
that's what we do.
I know. So what Jessica tried to explain without seeing the actual clip, she's all like, first of all, it's their podcast. They say whatever they want. Second of all, the name of it is Now You Made It Awkward. We talk about awkward subjects a lot, whether or not we're being awkward on purpose or we're literally talking about shit that most people won't talk about.
Yeah.
Were we a little bit mean? Maybe like 2%. Maybe 2% real mean. But we were being very serious about the fact that these people are refusing to work because they're told they have to wear a black shirt.
Well, that's where people are. That's where people are getting, offended because there's the truth in it. The truth often hurts.
But she's not that kind. Like, she's just not. She's very reasonable, very, very on it. So she said, it's like, yeah, she was already feeling a way about things. So odds are she was already a couple deep. I mean, she's a tiny little woman. It don't take that many to get her buzzing. Because by the time they got to dinner or lunch, whatever it was. Oh, lunch, yeah. She was already, like, feeling it.
I just don't get it. This is what we do. If we haven't offended you yet, just wait.
Unsubscribe.
We'll get there. Yeah,
I guess. I mean, but this is my mother-in-law. I would like her to not unsubscribe from us, technically, because that would be bad.
Does she watch?
No. So it's probably the first time she's seen anything of the show.
Well,
honestly, she would agree with a lot of it.
When you talked about it and everything, I saw it posted up. I watched basically the first 30 seconds of the intro, and I was dying laughing.
Yeah, because you weren't here. You missed that conversation.
Missed everything, and I was like, and Kate was with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh crap! And I was busting out laughing and saying, "This is great."
Yeah. So, like, I mean, of course, now I trim that down. Like, normally I try to keep the promos under a minute and a half because it's usually where the bad part of the song that runs over the promo is. So if I keep it that long, that's fine. It was at 2:20 when I started because I had so much good shit there. And like, I cut one whole thing that was funny and I should have left it in because it was way better than the other stuff we talked about. But I did think the Mexican Navy shit, the Alto. Personally, I found that funny. But I thought maybe she was offended by that somehow. And I'm like, why? But no, I guess, I mean, they are lesbians. It is what it is, but they're usually not offended by anything remotely like that. She said it was like the way I said it. I was like, which part? When I was imitating the they them person who literally sounded like that on any clip you watch of them protesting, I'm imitating them directly. This is how they sound. This is the shit they say. I was like, I'm sorry. And it comes down to, I'm sorry you were offended.
That doesn't mean it's offensive.
Yeah.
You were offended. That's your problem.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I do love my mother-in-law. She's a very good person. She allowed me to be with Jessica, so that's fine. I mean, I did her a favor by getting her out of the house. So, I mean, there's that. She owes me for life. But, I mean, like, and Jessica even defended me. She said, look, I grew up with y'all. You're the literal closest thing I have to a living mother at this point. You raised me. You've basically said I am your only real daughter, because Sissy never got to have kids of her own. And then she, of course, realized that she was homosexual. So that even though she was married young and all that other stuff, because you do that in the 60s when, you know, it's not really allowed to be gay, right? So she got married, went through all the whole rigmarole and everything, but never had any kids. Jessica was basically the child she never had. Mm-hmm. So, like, she raised, the other ones were older, already out doing their own shit. Jessica still needed care. So it's like, it means something that she had a good man to take care of her. And she's always said that, you know, I'm the best guy she's ever had, you know, from her point of view. And so she, you know, Jessica's like, do you think that I would be with him if I had any sense that he was anti-gay or homophobic or anything else like that? And he's like, she would not defend me if I was legit, like, attacking gay people and stuff like that. And I'm like, she didn't see the entire thing.
No, we're attacking irrational people.
Yeah, we're attacking irrational people. We don't care if they're gay or not. Did I point out the fact that it is this particular sect of people who's being the loudest about it? Yes. I mean, maybe she's offended because as an artist, like, she does have that freedom of expression situation going on. Maybe. But also, this is not the time or place to express yourself. It's work.
Yep.
You're there to do your job.
It's not who you are. It's what you do so you can do what you enjoy.
But it's also to the fact that it's just a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, you can do anything else. You can have your tattoos. You can have your piercings. You can have your haircut. They didn't say anything about hats. Like, wear a crazy hat. That's not offensive.
You know, it's a barista job. It's a temp job.
It's supposed to be.
It's how many career baristas do you know?
I used to know a few, but they were also, like, going through school and shit, and then they all got better jobs.
No, how many people have, you know, been a barista for 40 years?
Probably some. But they probably also were management and, like, said,
yeah, probably own the place.
Yeah, they probably own the place and just choose to do the thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not like it's a bad job. It's not like it's a bad company to work for. They pay decently for what they are. They do help with education and things like that. And they want people to move up and become managers. Did they have a situation where maybe management is slacked on hiring people? Guess what? Everyone did that.
Everyone got complacent.
Well, not just that. The cranking up the minimum wage made it difficult to hire anybody for the exact reason we discussed.
Yeah.
It's like you can't eat completely in your profit margins because you can only raise the price of the product so far that people will still buy it. Basic economy.
And at this point, it's still ridiculous.
Yeah. And I mean, coffee prices are still pretty high, but I noticed that the grocery store prices are starting to go down. Eggs have gone way down. Gas is down for summer prices, which is like, here we are at literally June, and it's not over $4.
Nope.
It's down in the high threes for premium. I'm sorry, low threes for premium, and
but 240s for
$2.40 for regular.
250s.
Yeah, I mean, it's continually going down, and we're going into summer. That's unheard of. Like, the median average, I think I saw the other day, was under 5 for the nation. So that means California is paying like 6 something, and somebody's paying like $1.40, right?
It's the state. It's the state taxes that jack that up so high.
And they blame it on the oil companies. But I mean, there's a lot more things to worry about in this world. Whether you need to wear a black shirt that they'll give you,
of course,
to work. That's the part that threw me. I was like, they will give you 2 free shirts. What are you mad about? It's like you're like, well, they don't pay us enough to wear the shirts. They're giving you the shirt for free. They're not even docking you for it. They're giving you the shirt. Mm-hmm. I have to, if I need extra uniforms, I got to pay a little bit in. There's certain articles of our work attire that we do have to pay for. But if there's a situation where it's a company that is aligned with us, we can get discounts on certain.
I mean, hell, look at the Marine Corps. They have to pay for everything, every bit of the uniform,
and
all their medals.
You check
all their
everything
ribbons,
in.
No, they don't check. If you get awarded a medal,
yeah,
you have to buy that medal.
That I've never heard of.
As an officer, you have to buy your drill and ceremony officer saber.
Really?
Yeah, I have dads.
I never knew that.
It's a gorgeous piece. It's back when you could still get ivory handled, silver and gold inlay.
That's an illegal sword.
Gorgeous piece, though.
That's what they say. They got gorgeous pieces.
Yep.
Speaking of officers and old people that we hadn't discussed on the show, we forgot to mention that King George is gone.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Conveniently, a week after he lost his lawsuit, he made himself no longer on this earth,
Which I think is highly suspicious.
It's not that he took himself out.
Yeah.
It's like they said. It's obvious. There's signs. There's like,
I'm not paying this.
yeah. I mean, I think the way that dude was, I could see it. Basically, like he hadn't met any of his goals. He didn't have a companion. You know, the Renaissance Festival, while doing fantastic, he has no one to hand it off to. He just lost this multi-year-long lawsuit of his own stupidity, and it's going to cost him $23 million to sell it for $60. I mean, while he's got the money, that ruins kind of everything about it, right? So, I mean, I could see it basically like the man had nothing literally left to live for. So, I mean, he was planning on dying at 95 no matter what.
Yeah.
He already had no bones about committing suicide because he was already saying, hey, in Sweden, they got the booths that'll take you out. Mm-hmm. And then that was years ago. Canada now will just, it don't matter how old you are. If you just claim that you're clinically depressed, they'll take you out. They don't care.
Good grief.
Do you know they're doing that for kids and teenagers now?
No way.
Yeah. Made for adolescents and
Straight up out of Futurama murder booth.
yeah. And because it can be for any medical condition that
And who signs off on that?
any doctor who's paid to, they're socialists.
Family, the kids. How's that work?
Yeah, the doctor diagnoses you with clinical depression. They give you the pamphlet that says, hey, have you tried death? And then they go, oh, death sounds good. And then
What kind of parent signs off on that shit?
No shit.
the kind that the government tells them to. This is Canada we're talking about. You know,
We'll murder you so you don't feel any pain.
well, that's what population control is for. I mean, there's the other thing is that they're no longer a drain on the system, but they're not also helping the system.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what do you do?
So once again, it's all about metrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Canada doesn't care if you know they're killing their citizens for fun.
See, I don't know if it's the citizens that are problems or it's the doctors that are pushing it. So
Yes. Well, it's the citizens who are told that it's an option.
they're believing the fact.
Yeah, they're
that's going
believed
on.
that it's an option
Yeah.
in the first place. Man,
No.
my camera is so crooked. I know I knocked it really bad the other day. This is a problem every time I'm going to have to buy a whole new mobile setup so I don't have to ever take these cameras away.
Right.
I'm just going to completely duplicate everything in this room. I mean, I was already looking at office spaces for rent to see if we could set up a studio somewhere. And some of them are fairly affordable. From
I didn't
what
know
saw.
you can clone humans.
God, that'd be cool.
Well, they've already done it. So
Maybe even
there's that.
lease out the space for other people to record.
No. It's for me.
Well, for you, but you could also make some money leasing out the
No.
space.
No. Mine.
Offset your
I'm
rent.
talking about getting an office for us to do like 300 square feet.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah, just tiny little thing.
literally just set
Take
up
this, leave it there.
Yeah, almost basically. Put a table and put some fucking billies behind it,
And a fridge.
yeah. I mean, it's cheaper than an apartment from what I've seen, but having to set up everything else, as long as I don't need direct internet connection for it, it'd be fine. But there's so many new office areas opening up around here that I was like, let's go look at prices. And like I said, some aren't terrible. Some are like ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was looking at it. But either way. But no, the whole King George situation. I did want to mention something I found hilarious about Canada. That King Charles, different king, got involved. He basically, depending on how you look at what he said, gave Canada back to the natives. Basically said, we've been on stolen land for several hundred years now. I'm giving it back. Basically dissolving the Commonwealth, I guess, and saying that the natives now own Canada and not the government of Canada.
Wow.
I think Trump should take that seriously and offer them a few billion for Canada and just go ahead and buy it straight out from under the government. Hey, you're the states now. It's fine. It was like, hey.
Wasn't that a headline anyways?
Yeah.
Last week?
Yeah.
They were talking about it.
Huh? Exactly. So, I mean, that's just the whole thing. It's like, I mean, I know a lot of Canadians, including Christine. Hi, Christine. I know you're watching. Who absolutely abhors the idea of all of that. And I'm just like, well, you're on stolen land, so you don't really have a choice. I mean, it is what it is. I know. Well, Christine's also kind of connected through some of the I don't know the exact connection through the indigenous up there or the natives, but I know there is some of that. But it was just hilarious. I'm like, does he understand the legal ramifications of what he just
For
said?
real, the whole country's about to catch the case of the native flu.
Yeah, the entire country. It'd be like, yeah, we're gonna just give it back. It's fine. It's like the new prime minister, and she's like, the what? What now? It's like, yeah, well, yeah. So either way, I thought that was funny. But no, it's just like between my dad having issues and everything else, and then your mom having issues, it's just going around. It's fucking summertime now. We're now in Pride Month, so it is what it is.
Okay.
It's June. It's Pride Month. Where's your rainbows? Yeah.
I guess.
Well, it looks like most of the corporations are not going to be celebrating that this year, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
Not to be, once again, we're not trying to go down a homophobic rabbit hole here, but it was a bit insane what some of these companies have been doing for the last few Junes. I prefer to think of this as Veterans Month.
Exactly.
Because that's what Unsub does. So I'm good with that. And then July is MAGA month, so we're good. Hi, Christine. So, is it weird if I call out a specific listener on the show? Like
over and over.
Just literally like talk directly at you. Either way, speaking of listeners, we have a few of those. And that's because we are here on the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 146.
146. Wow.
So I was going to bring it up. Should we do another mega questionnaire for 150? Invite everybody we know.
Maybe a smaller questionnaire.
No, we're at 150. We can do 150. We just got to get through them faster.
Right, instead of 4 hours sitting there.
I didn't say it had to be not 4 hours. But no, that'd be fun.
If we can do it during the week, I might be able to get Dad to swap out and cover for me.
No, we'll do it on Sunday afternoon.
Then I'm out of here by 5.
We'll take the whole day. I don't care. Day drinking.
For real.
Day drinking, answering questions. It'd be fun. So either way, guys, welcome back. Tell us in the comments, should we do another mega questionnaire?
Yeah, let us know.
Just wait.
Because last time we had a blast.
Yeah. So either
It
way,
was chaos.
it was so much chaos. Well, no more. Maybe not do the online guys, just because that was so much extra effort. Not that I don't want to talk to those guys, but that was so much effort.
I was bored the other night. I went back and started at the last hour and a half and just laughed my ass off.
Yeah, you got to go check that one out if you haven't, Chad.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
either
it was
way,
good.
yes.
Because somebody gets altered. And
Speaking of that, I do have to bring something up about that here in a second. So either way, I got to do the intros, Jeff.
okay, fine.
Focus. I got to do the gents. So either way, guys, I am Shoky. You can follow me at all the Shoky-related links down below, whether that's Shoky Reviews 2, or the Doesn't Have to Make Sense live stream channel. One of these days, I'll actually review something again, like anything in the pile over there behind that door, or outside the door. And, you know, Chad's sitting over there next to all the shit. So it's fine. It's his chair is the reason. That's my excuse for not reviewing anything that chair.
Oh, it's my fault. Okay.
It's always
okay.
in the way. It's
Yeah,
Chad's
I know.
fault.
Chad joined the show, and I can't review anything anymore. Sorry, guys. So either way,
Story of my life.
yes, exactly. And then, of course, make sure you do that like and subscribe thing here to this channel. Specifically, we're up to 129. We gained like 3 subscribers in
Nice.
the last week. Hi, new people. We're welcome. Welcome to the awkwardness. Oh, by the way, I have new merch idea. I'm going to work on that tomorrow.
Good.
Yes, on top of the other new merch idea. And I heard back from Teespring finally.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They said they would send an emergency email to the production people and be like, why the hell wasn't this taken care of?
All right.
Yeah, so hopefully my 3 posters will finally fucking come in. Speaking of which, guys, I never push it. There is a merch store. Go check out the merch store. But if you want to see the full uncut video of this podcast, because I don't always do the full video, you can check it out on the Shoky Reviews Patreon. We need more people just for this show over there because it's fun. And also, like, sometimes you get like an extra hour. If I don't feel
All
like
the
it.
random BS.
Yes, indeed.
Stuff we really shouldn't be posting.
In theory, yes. And just depending on how the subjects go today, we might have some stuff that I might have to remove from public view. We'll see.
Entirely.
There's an entire section of things we need to talk about, and we'll see. All right, speaking of which, we do have a giant Jefe over here.
Hey, what's up, baby?
Not wearing a hat today for some reason.
No hat.
Weird. Either way, you can follow him where?
At the Grounded and Grumpy on the Instagrams.
Excellent. And eventually on YouTube.
Eventually on YouTube.
Yes, okay. So, and we already heard what's been going on with you.
A little bit.
Your van now has a face on the back of it.
My van, I've been working on my RV conversion on the van.
Yeah.
2 porthole windows, a shore power plug, standalone AC, EcoFlow Delta Pro battery bank. And I now have AC to sit at work and relax and enjoy. If I'm running errands and I got a dog with me, I fire that AC up, let her hang out in comfort and safety. I do need to get a sign made that says AC is on, do not break window.
Yeah. And also, guys, if you are a solar company, portable solar panels, we need a sponsor for that. So
Definitely. I'll put it to work. I'll product test them. I'll torture test them. They'll be ran every day.
yes. And then I'll put it up on my review channel that actually has subscribers, not like this.
Because I'm looking for at least 800 watts of solar that I can either permanently mount or deploy.
Yeah. Either way.
Either way.
I think deployable is a little bit more fun.
Deployable's a bit more fun, but
Also more protected.
yes, but permanent mount, I don't have to worry about it. I just got to keep it clean once a week.
Yes, but trees and weather exist.
They do.
Hail happens a lot, especially now.
For real.
You know, weather changes and all that. That severe thunderstorm we didn't get.
I like to make a cover for it.
Right. Deployable cover. Oh, I saw one of those the other day. A deployable cover for the top of vans and shit in the parking lot. It's so dumb. Because that shit's going to get ripped off at a car wash the first time.
Or someone's just going to yank it off of there.
That too. You try to drive through some protesters. They're going to take off your roof protection. I mean, what?
Just deploy the roof protection and go.
Oh God. It's like fucking Korea. Either way.
It's basically an umbrella for your car.
It is an umbrella for your car. But it looks cool because it comes together and then it actually spins and then goes inside its own case. It's pretty neat. But if you need something that's kind of like that, or if you want your roof umbrella with your logo on it, go see Chad.
Bingo.
Chad's back this week. Actually, you were here last week. It was the week interim that was the problem.
Yes.
Yeah, initially we thought you weren't going to be here, and we'll talk about that briefly later.
It was the strangest Airbnb.
That was the shittiest Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yeah, whole bunch of people all in one room.
Yeah.
And only one toilet. It's fucking terrible. So we'll talk about that more. But of course, go check out C4 Graphics. Please, he needs a lot of business right now.
I appreciate it.
Lots of extra business, please.
Yes.
And we still need to talk about banner for this month.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to figure out the banner and possibly some embroidered shirts for us.
Okay.
So we're gonna probably maybe get some button ups for us for the official show.
Polo or something.
I think official button up shirts are better.
All right.
Yeah, because that way we get some nice black Dickie shirts with the logo and whatnot. I think it'd be good for whenever we go on scene, especially for semi-professional.
If we get the art in time and we get the shirts, they can be knocked out in a week.
Oh, the art, the thing that I just have at any given point and can email.
Yep.
It still needs to be digitized and all that.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Digitized.
Yes.
To go to it gets
stitching.
sent off to a company that changes it into a format that the embroidery machine can properly read off of it and make it look right.
Okay.
That's about $25.
Because usually those things are just limited by the color they have for the embroidery things, and you have to separate the color that way so that it can understand it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've done that already. Thank you.
Really?
Yeah, because I have embroidered beanies from Teespring.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I have versions of that. So I'll just need to know what colors to set to, and I can do that.
Sweet.
Yeah. Either way, either that or we just get straight up printing. I don't know if we have a guy who does T-shirt printing anymore. Or at least some Dickie shirt printing, because I'm not going to rely on fucking Teespring to get anything done at any given speed. At
Exactly.
This point. I do like Teespring. I've used them for a very long time, but as I already said, I do have a new merch idea. I came up with it the other day, and I just needed to sit down and do the design. But this weekend was pretty damn busy. Aside from actually work. Sorry, camera was telling me it was slow charging. So either way, aside from working a normal shift on Saturday, but then having to go do a graduation party, which went pretty well. So congrats to Bailey for graduating. That's my cousin's stepdaughter. And there was a big range of time there where we weren't entirely certain if she was going to make it, but she actually graduated with all A's. I was like, that's
pretty good.
Pretty fucking impressive. I didn't do that. You know,
high school, college?
High school.
Okay.
Yeah. So we just did the party like way late. She graduated from Conroe. So it was just like, I guess due to just timing and everything else going on, they said, fuck it, we'll wait until everybody's really available and we'll just do it at the end of May. So that was a good time. Drank more than I probably should have. I didn't get shitty, but I tried some THC liquor of some sort that I did not like the taste of whatsoever.
Was it the Willie Nelson stuff?
I don't know. It was in a green, it's green stuff and you can get it at specs. So
Nice.
Yeah, I saw that one time before.
Yeah, it doesn't taste great.
Okay.
It doesn't taste like weed or anything.
Bitter?
well, to me, everything's a little bit bitter, but like Jessica said, it was very sweet. It wasn't very sweet to me. It tastes very medicinal.
Okay.
Like I wasn't keen on it.
Okay.
Almost like a little anise, like a licorice.
Maybe, but I actually like.
Not anise, you goof.
So you shouldn't be tasting those.
That is very bitter.
A little bitter.
If it's sweet, you need to ask what's going on. But no, I mean, like if you like it, you win. But I had that along with a few beers, some cider. I made a couple mixed drinks here and there because it was just basically open bar. But I knew I was gonna have to drive because she wasn't gonna.
Right.
So I made sure. We also left at a reasonable time because it started at like 4. We got there at like 5:30, and there were still plenty of people. All the teenage girls hanging out doing teenage girl shit, whatever they do. Talking shit about people. I don't know what they do. Play around on Snapchat while sitting amongst each other. I don't know what they do. There was a minor incident with, I'm assuming a trip over a toddler, and the toddler was fine but crying, and the teenager who tripped over her was more upset than the child was. So, which reasonably so. If you thought you really fucked up a kid, I didn't see what happened. I just heard that I heard crying baby and then crying adult, and I'm just like, what the fuck did I miss?
Yeah, don't kick the baby.
No, don't kick the baby. Kick the baby. Either way. But it was fun. Got to catch up with some people. Saw my cousin I hadn't seen in a little bit, and then played some they call it ladder ball, I think. It's where you have the
ball on a rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, ladder ball.
Yeah, that was fun. I kicked this kid's ass like a couple times, and then he came back and won for the 3rd game, and then he beat his dad after that. So.
There you go.
But the problem is, he was at the exact right height to hit threes constantly.
Oh, nice.
Like, you fuck.
You just do it straight.
Just basically throwing it straight and just nailing it on threes. I was like, but I got even though I was tipsy and holding my drink while fucking playing, I actually managed to. I came from behind.
Well, it's balance.
Yeah, it was because Charlie was playing first, and then he had to go take care of stuff because hosting party. So I took over for him, and he was at like a 9-point deficit, and I came back in the first round and got nearly caught up. Next round, passed him, and then we kept breaking even. Like he'd score big and be like, "Fuck you," and I just negate his points.
Right.
Or then I would come back and we both went over 21. So it's like, and it was just like when I needed 3 and he needed 2. So it was like really easy to fuck it up, So either way, it was fun. Beating kids at games. That's always a good time, right? And then he was talking shit, and I was just like, all right. He's like, you want to go again, old man? I'm like, let me get another drink.
Listen, you fetus.
Yeah, exactly. And mind you, it's like his wife's nephew. So I was like, I've only met this kid like twice ever, and just watching. He's a baseball kid, sports kid, and apparently they had a bad season, much like your basketball season. Apparently their baseball season was equally bad, even though once again there's like some good players and then no team. It's like when you have like 2 or 3 little people who are good at the thing, but then fail otherwise. You know
we had one team that was really great, and then ours just sucked.
Exactly.
The leftovers.
Yeah, pretty much. We're supposed to be equal. No, we weren't.
No,
it's supposed to balance that shit out, but no, that's not what we do around here. Why would we? So other than that, I did watch a couple things. I did manage to get through the first 3 episodes of a new show starring Mike Rowe. Called People You Should Know. I did send it in the chat. You should fucking watch it.
I like Mike Rowe.
Mike Rowe is fantastic. So it's basically a spinoff of what they used to do, which was called Returning the Favor, which was his 2nd or 3rd show on Facebook.
That was a great one.
Yeah, that show was really good, and it was basically like finding people who do great things for the community and then paying it back to that person. Yes. Basically, same concept, just with new show name, because I guess Facebook probably still owns the old one.
Yeah.
So, but it's with the same woman.
Yeah, Mike Rowe's not going to stop doing his thing.
No, but it's with the same chick who was with him on that. Now she's a direct co-host, not just a producer who won't stop getting on camera. But she's got infinite energy.
Get on camera. Shut up.
Yeah, she's got like infinite energy and a great attitude about everything, so that's good. But first 3 episodes are up on their YouTube channels. First one they've done to YouTube, so they're not dealing with networks, they're not dealing with any bullshit.
I'll definitely check those out tonight.
It's really, really good. I'll tell you about just real quick.
And Murderbot.
So I'll get to that. I'll get to let you guys rant about Murderbot here.
I got to get you to sign in.
I talked to him about
we'll
that.
We'll see.
It's only like 25-minute episodes.
I know. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about whether or not it'll cut off because you signed into Apple at home.
No.
Because a lot of those are like, you can't be in 2 places at the
It'll
same
tell
time.
me that it's
Make
like,
his own profile.
We'll see.
Done.
We'll see what
I
happens.
ask you if it's like traveling or something. That's it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens if we remember, because we usually forget to do things. Like last week, I forgot to send you guys the doctor's war speech, so I remembered last night while I was editing.
There you go.
So either way, so the first episode is actually about a woman named Lindsay in California. And basically, she got involved because she was a mother in need, basically going homeless, kids had nowhere to sleep, stuff like that. She ended up reaching out and discovering this company called Care Portal. And basically what they do is like Uber, but for taking care of families and kids in need. And it's actually it's a nationwide thing. So go look it up. Go to careportal.org. And basically, people sign up if they have a need, whether that's like they need diapers for their kids, they need some daycare, or they need somebody somewhere to sleep because they just lost their home. You can sign up to be someone who helps, whether that's by donation or by direct action that you can take. And they've got like several. When Mike did the episode, which I don't know when it was filmed, they were at 115,000 people helped already. Then when he did a 6-week later update, it was 130,000 people helped. You know, it was ridiculous. Like, you can go check it out right now. Fantastic company that was set up by a local person, and it just kept growing. So because they went to go help Lindsay, they learned about Care Portal and got into it with the company that they run that also helps people, and put one of the earliest people that Mike helped, who builds beds for kids. Like, their motto is no kid is sleeping on the floor in my town. Mm. So if there's people who need beds, they will get them. So because she was helping a family who was in that exact situation, a grandma who took in the kids because of situations, had nowhere for the kids to sleep. She wasn't even sleeping in a real bed. She's sleeping on the couch. Kids are sleeping on the floor. They brought that company in to get beds to bring in. That was supposed to be off. Either way, to bring in and make beds. So now that company is now attached to Care Portal, so that if somebody somewhere in their network needs beds for kids, they're going to take care of it.
Oh,
and
cool.
And that's 100% nonprofit. They build the beds and take care of it for free. It's all covered, all that. So that was actually really crazy for just one episode. The next one is something that, you know, given the unsub community is really funny, is a guy named Danny in Colorado who started a company called TACT, which is basically teaching people with autism trades. So giving them something to do and filling in needs for companies that basically for every 5 people who retire from a trade, only 2 are replacing them. Mm. So the trades are already dying. So they need people out there, and because the people just on the spectrum, whatever that might be, even now they're including ADHD and stuff like that in there. They're getting people from teenage level all the way up to people maybe like in their 30s who just can't get a job because of whatever. And they're finding the thing that they can focus on. You know, literally, we're going into weaponized autism territory here. You know, much like with the unsub guys. You know, find the thing they're good at, because they're doing auto tech, they're doing wood shop, they're teaching them anything along those lines, plumbing, welding, but they'll also move them through the shop so that they can find if they're
see what clicks. And the first girl he interviewed, like, holy shit, this girl was so fucking happy, and she was doing wood shop. Yeah.
And like, she was just happy to have anything to be focused on, and really happy to meet Mike because she followed him on dirty jobs and stuff like that. But great company as well. Don't want to spoil everything about it, but the whole point of the show is people you should know. That's a fucking title.
Yeah.
Would you know that there's a company out there that does that shit? And not only that, they work with companies. They'll have somebody who is basically like a TACT coordinator who goes and finds jobs that need people.
Right.
And they will basically work placement for these people who are learning these trades. So say you get like 2 years into learning about plumbing, and you got somebody who needs a journeyman plumber or electrician, and they'll feel that need to be like, hey, I got somebody.
Put them on it, point and shoot.
And the cool thing about it is because they're actually generally really reliable. Mm-hmm. They don't want to change things. If they get into a job they like, they're likely to stay there forever and work their way through it.
As long as no one screws with them.
Yeah. And so it's actually really neat. Third one is more up your alley. Yeah, they went to check out Steve at Black Horse Forge, a veteran with PTSD who came back, messed up, didn't know how to deal with his stuff and discovered by way of just looking around doing stuff, forging.
Yep.
Making stuff with a hammer and fire out of metal.
Oh, I contemplated that for years.
Yep.
I have too many hobbies. I can't pick up another one.
So this is not.
I'd enjoy it,
Yeah.
but
The thing is that this is not about being a hobby. So what he did is
I understand.
Yeah, so he started Black Horse Forge to bring. He actually spent all of his money from the government to buy the forging equipment to set it up, so that he could help other vets suffering the same way by giving them something to focus on when therapy doesn't work, when they don't know how to talk to people, but they just need to work some stuff out. And since he started, 22,000 veterans have come through there.
That's amazing.
Guess how many have killed themselves?
0.
0.
Yeah.
That's a better rate than the VA. That's a better rate than
the VA sucks.
That's a better rate than any VA therapy, because not only are they working with other vets, they're learning a skill or a trade that they can turn around. Whether that's just making stuff or because they're doing everything. They're on the
Honestly,
leathercraft.
from that mindset, in the place where a lot of those people vets are at, having something where you can check out mentally and just do repetitive task, repetitive motion.
Yes.
Lose the entire day in what you're doing.
Literally fall
It's
into that.
almost
Yeah.
it's almost healing
That's exactly right.
doing that. I get the same way in the wood shop. I'll lose
Yeah.
all day long in the wood shop.
Dude, he literally refers to it as hammering out his demons.
Yeah.
And like all of his knife designs, because he also has a booklet of instructions on every single thing that they teach to create, and each one is named after a demon or some cryptozoological
I
creature.
mean, it is literally a physical process of shutting your brain down,
Yes,
stopping yourself from spinning
spinning out.
yourself up, spinning out, and
You good?
that
Apparently, we did need to plug that in.
that time.
That's fine. We'll get a cord on it. Hold on. Keep talking.
that shutting your brain down is why a lot of veterans self-medicate with either marijuana or alcohol, is to get their brain to shut down for that particular time. That I can see how that can be very beneficial, because a lot of guys, that's the same dragon they're chasing, is just to quiet their brain.
But no, you're exactly right. You're exactly right about that, and that's exactly what it turned into for all these guys. But when they said that number, because it's a tiny shop, so he has his original shop that's his personal space, and then the big shop that is everything else. And they actually teamed up a little bit with another local woman who went through his thing. She was a Marine. I think she got discharged due to brain Dane bramage, as she said it. And I was like, hey, it's Jefe, but in female, it's Jefe, but in female form. But she works with her husband. He fixes old Jeeps, and she takes the broken Jeep parts and turns it into shit.
Nice,
That's cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Using the lesson that she learned at Black Horse. So, like, just locally, he helped out people. But 22,000.
Yeah.
That's one spot in one city. That's crazy. So, if that was a network, that would be cool. You know, even if there's something like that. I mean, like the guy here locally, Brave Hawk Forge, he should set up a program like that too if he hasn't.
Definitely,
'Cause
we should definitely reach out to him and turn him on to what
Yeah,
the other forge is doing, and say, hey, reach out, see if they can't help you get something set up.
because that would be pretty cool. Like, because I want to actually sign up for one of those classes. It's expensive to basically make your own Damascus knife or tomahawk or whatever. It's like a 2-day class for the tomahawk. I think it's a 1-day class for the basic knife, and then around Valentine's Day does sales on the steel roses. But that's pretty cool though. Either
I
way.
still mess up anyway, so it wouldn't.
I'd enjoy it. I think
I would too.
I'd make a butter knife. That's
I mean, it's not as hard as you think.
tactical butter knife
Yeah.
with a spork on
That's
the other
pretty,
end.
but it's
Look,
butter.
tactical butter knives are useful.
There you go.
You never know when you got to butter bread in the field. So the first knife that you learn to make at Black Horse, I forgot the name he calls it, but it's after a certain demon, a local demon up in North Carolina, I believe, is where it came from. And it's a very specific knife. It's kind of chisel shaped, but not very thick, and the sharp edge is right across the flat front.
Kind of like one of my blades.
Kind of, but it serves one particular purpose. It's for deballing goats. So the whole point is, like, the demon that it's named after is It's a whole thing, but it's just funny. He's like, "What is it for?" And he's like, basically just for,
Yep.
like razor sharp, just whoop, no more balls. Either way, I just thought that was funny. But so that we watched that yesterday before and after church, and I'm like, damn, this is good. This is the kind of content we need in this world. Like, this world fucking sucks. I need positive fucking feel good shit, not just stuff to make me forget what I'm doing for 20, 30 minutes and look at big explosions. And then there's Clarkson's Farm, which I also watched. So
looking forward to that. Yeah,
dude, this new season is interesting because, of course, they introduce new people. Jeremy starts doing new things. But they dropped it in chunks. I need to watch the back half of the season where Hammond comes in.
Yeah.
So I want to see that. But Jeremy wants to buy a pub because once again, he's expanding. He's expanding his theory of helping local stuff. So very much like what we're talking about here, because we've talked. Have you seen Clarkson's Farm?
I've seen like pieces of it.
Okay, yeah. This is, dude, what he's trying to do for UK farming and community, and the government just keeps getting in the way. Local government, at least.
Of course.
Because the council.
They just don't like him.
They hate him specifically. So, therefore, if he does anything good, it can't be good.
Of course.
So, in this case, he's once again trying to...
Well, what they don't like is he keeps pointing out how not necessary they are and how inefficient and ineffectual they are.
Yeah. And if he started digging into them and seeing how much money gets wasted...
Right.
Or they're stealing from local people, I'm sure that would also be good. Mm-hmm. Let's see if Fat Electrician's doing anything.
There you go.
Hey, can you go look at the West Oxfordshire Council? West Oxfordshire City Council. That'd be funny.
Brother, I think you jumped the shark a little bit. We going to finish the intro?
Huh? No, we didn't. Oh, we didn't get to...
We didn't get to the rest of it.
That's fine. You've been twitching over there.
I know.
It's fine. We've skipped it before. I just wanted to get rolling because we got so much to do. Fine. Where can they contact us, Jefe, if they want to tell us about the good deeds in their city?
They can reach us via email at nowyoumade.awkwardmail@gmail.com. You can also follow us on our Facebook page, Now You Made It Awkward Podcast.
Yes.
You can also follow us on Instagram at Nymea_pod.
Indeed. We're getting a few new people. Denise just joined.
Excellent.
Yes, I did sort of jump the thing, but have so many show notes and everything else like that. It's just like, let's get the ball rolling.
Did we ever get a question from?
No, I have the question. Yes, I just didn't pull it up.
Roadside.
I was just talking about it because I really wanted to talk about Clarkson's Farm, but that was the last thing I wanted to talk about because that's the only thing I watched since then. Yeah. And then you guys,
you're so excited.
Well, I mean, I legit have all these notes for everybody.
Micro do good.
Look, I wanted to talk about this because it's important rather than Sean's fart question. I guess I have no idea what his fart question is going to be this week. Fine, let's go see what Sean has because you can send us messages on Facebook or /Meta. It'll come through the system. You need to send a text message first, then you'll be able to drop a voicemail like our friend Sean does every week. Me and Sean got into it last week. I don't know if I mentioned this.
Oh, I bet you did.
No, we actually had a bit of an argument. I'm not going to necessarily vent it here on air, but we settled it. But it's the first time we've actually argued about things. So we'll talk about it off air. There's literally like hours of angry voicemails. So either way. All right, Sean, what do we got this week? Oh, let me test the audio.
He's probably just cussing you out.
No.
No question. Damn it.
No, see, I will say this. I sent a 10-minute long message as a reply explaining all my feelings and thoughts on the subject. He sent back a 2-minute and 43-second message. I did not listen to that, and then I didn't talk to him again until the next day, and I pretended nothing happened. Because like either
you didn't work it out. You just buried it.
Either that's more argument or we're fine anyway. So I just said fuck it, and I sent him a message of someone sitting there pooping and scrolling on the phone, and then we just went back to normal. Either way.
Question for the pod. Well, now it's summertime, and there's kids actually out playing. It was kind of surprising. When I was coming home from lunch today, I saw a bunch of kids outside playing, riding bikes, rollerblading. A couple kids were in the street playing ball. And I was like, man, that's heartwarming. That was so fun back in the day. You're out of school and you get to play. Then I was thinking, and I was talking to Shoky, but these guys will never know the glory of finding a good stick. So my question is, when you were out beating the streets or beating the trails, whatever you were doing back in the day as a kid, what else was good as finding a good stick?
I would say finding a good skipping rock.
About to say that.
Yep.
So just us on this subject, because we all grew up in very different environments. I think you were scrub planing everywhere.
Scrub Plains in Missouri.
Yeah. I was country, technically speaking, just outside of city country. And you were in what area did you grow up in?
I mean, I grew up in Spring.
Okay.
Until I was 12.
Like the wooded area of Spring or the concrete area of Spring?
Kind of like in between.
Okay, so suburby.
Yes.
Okay, so not farmland.
It's
Okay.
now concrete.
The blimp base.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure because, I know. So we rode our bikes around the neighborhood. We just had, like I've mentioned it before, we basically had a circular neighborhood. You just did your 1.5 miles around if you were allowed to ride all the way around to the bad part of the circle. It's whatever. But we definitely did the stick finding. We found guns. I found a good, almost like cross sword one time. I was like, oh, this is something you never fucking find. With a good hefty base and then a fork for the thing, and it came out straight. Good sticks. Even I shared a video a while ago. It was literally a woman trying to play, guys, I need an opinion. Is this a good stick? And it basically was the shape of a frying pan. It's like, of course, a woman finds a stick in the shape of a frying pan. But we also did... rock skipping, like I was talking about. We would chuck heavy things at frogs or turtles in the pond. Mm-hmm. That was always fun. You didn't have ponds in the scrub plain of Missouri.
Yeah, we rolled out of there when I was in New Mexico. We rolled out when I was in 6th grade.
Yeah,
Fifth or
just
sixth
talking.
grade.
Yeah, in New Mexico, there's definitely no ponds.
No, there's a river.
You just keep finding scrub plains. You're just like plains, nothing else. We don't have trees.
I like it. Tell you, one of the best things you can find as a kid in Missouri, a creek.
A creek?
A good creek. Without any parental supervision, no one there to bother you.
Dry creek or wet creek?
Wet creek flowing year round.
Okay.
Just kids being kids, hanging out. We built tree houses and building dams, watching them fill up. And then,
did you see the biggest thing you could throw from over your head and see how big the splash would get?
yes, that.
That's always fun.
Also in the winter, that creek was at the bottom of a huge hill, and
You and Hills.
we would build ramps out of snow.
You and fucking Hills.
and hit them with the sled and jump over the creek.
Damn.
First of all, he said snow. We're like, what?
Yeah.
For real.
It's like we're in Southeast Texas. We don't do snow here.
Oh, it was great.
Saw snow once as a kid.
It snowed. We'd be out of school, and they couldn't get us inside. We come home at dark, just frozen.
I mean, even
How it should
even
be.
even the
Frozen.
On that hill, in the middle of the hill, right as you pick up good speed, there was a flat, like 20-inch stone that stuck out of the ground about 4 inches.
yeah.
We were in these by Rubbermaid, these big giant
Yeah.
Rubbermaid sleds.
Yeah.
That you'd lean to steer.
No, that's not a sled. That's a that's called a tub.
Anyway,
You're
no,
using
it was actually sled.
I'm just fucking. with you.
Anyway,
I know Rubbermaid made sleds.
my sister was going down next to me, and my feet were planted on the little footholds.
Oh, you've mentioned this.
And I found that stone. And apparently my legs were locked because it launched me face forward like Superman.
And Sean brought this up to me the other day. Like, did you ever go like have a fort in the woods where you found the quintessential sticky magazine or whatever?
No.
At a fort in the woods, but no, I didn't find anything like that.
Or did you have an older brother or a dad that you snuck one of their nudie mags or something?
I don't have any brothers.
Now there's a
Fair.
park across the road
It'd be weird
from
if your
us,
sisters had
in
it.
Missouri that
Yes.
was frequented by pedophiles and homosexuals. And so you had to go over there and run for your life half the time.
Why would you go over there at all?
This was a good park.
Oh, okay, sure.
But I usually had my boxer with me, Maggie. And she was a good girl.
Oh, yeah, dog protects you. You're good. We had a lot next to us. Now it's cleared out where neighbors put in a real shitty, ugly fucking trailer, but then eventually replaced it with a slightly less ugly trailer. But that was all wooded when I was growing up. And apparently even earlier than when we moved out there, there had been like a single wide trailer on that lot. And there was still the abandoned septic tank, which we later discovered was wide open. The cap had disappeared long before that. And we actually ended up losing a dog in there. She fell in and was there probably for about 7 or 8 hours before somebody discovered her. So she was swimming in sewage and God knows what, which is probably why she died. But because she died of parvo.
Oh, damn.
We put her down because of parvo, I should say.
That's hard to come back.
But the fact that we were there, we played in those woods, like cutting trails and doing whatever, because that was our little hideaway place. And there was a little pond we discovered in the woods back there. We dug a pond. This one might have been natural. It's hard to tell because it is so old. But it had like a built up spot, like a hill. So that's where we would chuck stuff in there. And
Right.
and some of our fish ended up in there during that flood of 94.
Mhm.
I don't know. You weren't here in 94.
No.
You were. You remember that fucking flood. That was ridiculous. That's like Hurricane Harvey levels, but no devastation. Our entire backyard was like 8 inches of water. The whole backyard.
Yeah.
So the pond, that's when we discovered later that pond was over there. And turtles and fish and everything had ended up in there from us. So we went and got a couple of our fishing rods and caught some of our own fish in a different pond and brought them back. Hopped the fence and took them back.
We did that in Jackson, Missouri. We were in a rent house, and there's a pond not too far behind the place, and they were draining it.
Yeah.
And I saw all these bass and crappie and bluegill and stuff just being left to die. So I started filling up buckets of water and pulling out as many as I could, running them over to the creek. And God, I fished and fished and fished for days until I couldn't catch anymore.
Oh, I gotta figure out which one.
That was a good time. Now, one of them was almost a 5-pound bass.
Dang.
Yeah, it was nice.
We got something in ours, but I have no what it is. What it is.
What other than an alligator?
Yeah, I haven't seen the gator in forever, so it took off somewhere.
Every time it floods, you get a new infusion
Yes,
of
I
water
do.
and wildlife.
Yeah.
Because that whole pond disappears.
Yep. It goes away. I don't know if we get new turtles or what, but we get new style fish that's in there.
But the gator always comes back. Does it build a nest?
And probably downstream.
Okay, because they always go back to where they were born.
That or they went back up to the north side. I have no idea. But
My own
Can you pause? I got to call the VA.
Why did they always call when we're in the middle of the show?
Because
Every time. This is like their scheduled time to call.
I tell them not to call me, but until
Well, I don't know if you know this, but veterans do have memory problems.
huh?
And they never listen.
Are you saying something?
Yeah.
Oh,
you won't remember anyways.
Yeah. So
Fucking with you.
yeah. So I was going to ask. So we were just talking off camera there while Jeff was on the phone. So you also played in the creek there, Chad.
Yep.
Okay. I was averse to water because I couldn't swim worth the shit yet. I still can't swim. So now that I know the water is out to kill me, I don't fuck with it if I can help it, which is annoying because Jessica really wants to go out on y'all's boat.
So you're basically unbreakable.
Yes, it is my weakness. Nothing else can kill me except water.
We'll get you water wings, floaties.
Hey, you're gonna have to dude, I nearly died in a life jacket. I don't know if floaties are gonna help.
No, we'll get you a big.
That's
Well, don't put them on your ankles.
We'll go somewhere where you can touch. Okay.
yeah, that'd be good. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the only time I was out on a lake in a boat, I nearly died. So yeah, that's not good.
We've been still meaning to get River out there. She hasn't used her new flotation vest yet.
This thing does not go very fast. So
I'm not
don't
worried about that. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about going in the water and not coming back up.
No,
Because I sink.
you'll
I don't
come
float.
You'll come back up.
I'm physically incapable of floating.
We will tie a rope around you.
That'd be good. Either way, so you're played in the creek. Was there anything else you guys would like explore, or there's like a fun little area that nobody knew about? So
Yeah, we had a wooden fort down by the creek and everything.
Yeah.
That was
forget it. It's fine.
okay.
Everything's slow charging today, apparently.
Yeah, we built that. Basically, about 6 or 7 of the neighborhood kids that went to school with and everything would meet down there.
Yeah.
So it was fun until they started doing the new development and everything. That's basically they kicked us out, and we're like, I think our last day came down to it before they bulldozed it. We're like,
Oh, damn.
well, guys, so
Well, this is
been
the
fun.
end.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is the.
That's right before we moved and everything too. And it's like, well, this freaking.
I'm just gonna sit here in the dark. It's fine.
You're
Dude,
still lit up.
No,
You're good.
I think something's going on because this thing is saying it's not charging, even though it's plugged in. That's clearly not really.
Is your power
charging.
source failing or something?
It's not a power source. It's just plugged in. So I assume that there's something going on. Nobody left the bathroom light on, right? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe a turn off. There might just be too much going on. Like, I mean, the light got to its point to where it just didn't want to do its thing. Now it's just like, now it's in safety mode. It is what it is. But the fact that this isn't really charging, despite it being plugged in, is also strange.
Oh, well.
It's fine. We'll deal with it. Electrical problems. This place is not wired up worth a damn. It's fine. It is what it is. But I was going to say, do you guys remember the best stick? Or do you have memories of good stick you found?
I found a good piece of oak. Made a walking stick out of it. Debarked it, sanded it down, kept some of the little bumpy knobs and the little twig bits, and made just a great walking stick. Lacquered it up.
Oh, so you put in effort.
Oh, I've always been handy in making stuff.
Yeah.
I did that a little bit, but I made it to a sword.
Yeah, same. Because I remember finding one, and it must have been not a stick. It must have been like a sapling or something, because it was really straight and not a lot of stuff coming off of it. And this thing was sturdy. Like, because I would set it down, like put it in the porch or the garage or something, but I'd be using it like a sword, whacking stuff with it, and the damn thing wouldn't snap.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so used that for probably several weeks until finally it got to a point that it broke in half. You know, it got dried out enough and it broke. And at that point, you just use the smaller pieces. Now you got two swords.
Hell, I'm still finding sticks. I got a piece of.
That's what I was saying.
I've got a.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I've got a piece of cypress where a branch split out, had a big knob on it, and I'm essentially going to make a southern shillelagh. But it's hanging up right now.
That's cultural appropriation, sir.
Whatever. It's a club.
It is at that point.
But
it's a big club and you ain't in it.
It is. But it's hanging in the barn right now, drying out. So maybe next summer I'll be able to start working with it.
Maybe.
If
you ever get around to.
For real.
If you ever get around to anything.
Hey, I'm making progress on one project.
One.
Yeah.
What about your other project?
The ignition switch for the Jetta comes in tomorrow, so
Okay.
I'll start working on it.
Yeah, you hadn't updated that.
Getting it back on the road, and then start working on it after I get done with the van.
Okay. Oh, I did forget to mention, because in between shows, Sean had a truck tard invasion.
Oh, truck tard.
Yeah, the truck tards.
Oh, the truck tards we had.
Yeah, different. Maybe the same truck tards, but he saw a couple weekends ago, there must have been a show somewhere, probably in Oklahoma.
Did he get as angry as you did?
He said it was really fucking annoying. Like, they're coming through. He sent me a message. He's like, dude, now I see what you're talking about. Because he literally had a big truck tarded truck pulling a trailer that was also truck tarded and had another truck tard on the trailer.
So it was a triple tard.
Triple tard. So he's just like, I mean, good on you for spending a fuckload of money on that whole rig.
There's 180 grand.
But then he looked at it. He's like, wait a minute. Some of these kids are like fucking 22 years old. How the
Yeah.
hell are they affording this shit?
Daddy's money.
It's like 70 grand in upgrades and paint and God knows what else on already a $70,000 truck, right?
Mostly they get sponsors and everything.
That's what I said.
And sometimes it's not even their truck completely.
Yeah, it's somebody else's truck.
Someone else's truck, and they have to go back to them.
For real.
And they sell it. That's pretty much what they do.
Or they kind of borrow against the truck to
Yes.
do that. Yeah, they basically take a mortgage out on their truck to fix it up, and then basically because all the parts are owned by someone else, it's now a show truck. But I'm just like, haha, somebody else got truck tard invaded. It's good. Now there's supposed to be like a more classic truck show coming up soon. I thought, and I saw ads.
See,
for it.
I don't see the point of doing all that. You lose all the utilitarian aspects of having a truck. Can't go anywhere. Can't hardly do anything with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for sucking off dudes in a parking lot, I guess. But I don't know what they do with those meats.
Well, I know there's lots of girls in bikinis sometimes, and they're usually standing next to the truck. So
Yeah.
I assume that they're doing more of the vacuuming activities.
Maybe.
I didn't see any sandwiches getting made. It's a good joke.
Yeah.
It's like they're polishing rims. They might be polishing knobs too.
There you go.
I don't know. It's good. It's fine. I used to actually I still follow this one chick, Big Rig Barbie, on Instagram. Just because she actually is a trucker. Like, she drives a water tanker, but she has her own custom 18-wheeler too, Looney Tune, which they just did some heavy mods to it. So she goes to all the she is her own truck model. So it's pretty fucking cool. And they modify the shit out of their trucks. They bought an old Dodge, put all kinds of new shit in it to haul stuff on the trailer. Because they got tired of using their actual regular truck for it. So I like custom vehicles. Don't get me wrong. But there's a limit.
They gotta be
I found
usable. That's the-
I found a fantastic one the other day.
Oh God.
Made me laugh and envious at the same time. They took a 1926 Silver Ghost Rolls Royce.
Oh God.
Old, beat up, maroon.
Had to have been a piece of shit.
It was, and
The
they
monster
dropped it on
truck
they dropped it on a Model, I think, A truck frame
Okay.
with a stake bed behind it with the wood frames. It looked so good.
There can be so many angry people on it.
Oh no, it
Did
looked.
you save it?
God, I could find it quickly.
No, you need to start saving these posts when you find them. You know, you can save shit on Instagram and Facebook. I started doing that because
It was
I got tired of
such-
losing shit.
A unique, good-looking little rig.
I will say, I did see a Volkswagen Okay, that's kind of neat. Yeah. Well, because it still fits the aesthetic.
It
It's not-
does.
It's not stupid.
That was done right.
It's just
done
hilarious
well.
that it's a Rolls Royce that's been done too.
Old 26 Silver
Yeah.
Ghost.
Okay, so Volkswagen, real quick, because you have your stupid Jetard. Someday you'll find a back door for it.
Or I'll just take it to a body man.
Patch it up. What did you send a picture of?
That Rolls Royce.
Oh, okay. No, I just now got the notification. That's what I was asking. Wait, you just saw that online though? You didn't see it in real life?
No, I saw it online. I was just looking around.
Does that got like the old inline 8 in it, probably? Or
Probably
yeah,
straight 8.
yeah. Because I would definitely slap like the fucking what was it? The 3.9. What was that? No, 4.9. The 4.9 inline 8 straight 8 from the fucking old Lightnings.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun to throw that in there. Okay. I don't even know where we're at this point in the show. We got sidelined there for a
We
minute.
really did. This is a
I
rambling
lost my
show.
notes.
Today it
No,
is.
the problem was I closed my notes and totally forgot where the fuck I was in the first place. Okay, so either way, I did my week already. So Jefe,
Yeah, my week's been just working on the van. That's
what
it.
you been watching things?
Uh,
A lot of things apparently.
a lot of things. Caught up on Murderbot. Haven't watched season 4 yet, or episode 4. Been watching Supernatural just because I'm bored.
Come on. There you go. You two talk about Murderbot. Tell me about Murderbot.
Well, we haven't.
While you're here, talk about Murderbot and why I need to fucking get an Apple login to watch it.
Dude, you definitely need.
Well, I hate to talk about it and just give everything away. You really need to just
Don't spoil
watch
it, but sell me on the show. Why do I need another thing to watch?
Security bot gains free will. Basically, he overrides his own governor,
Okay, so it's Johnny 5.
and he has to walk that line between being normal as he should be
Okay.
and maintaining his free will. So he's having to act a lot and fake stuff just to not get deactivated and scrapped.
But is he murdering people?
Not yet.
So he's called Murderbot.
That's what he named
and name
himself.
himself.
Oh, he named himself Murderbot. Okay. So what was his job?
Security.
Oh, just a security bot?
Yeah. He was an older model. Yeah.
Okay.
But then
So eventually we're going to get
a
robot
very,
PTSD.
very broke corporation, little free love, little peace group, is taking a lease out to do their own little colony, and they're required to have a security droid
Okay.
or security bot, and they can only afford the cheap one.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so he's there looking after them, trying to make sure they don't die.
So
he is narrating this the whole time.
The entire time.
he's narrating.
And it's
And
awesome.
he spends all of his free time watching TV.
Yeah.
Starting to remind me of someone.
Yeah, he's downloading all. Yeah.
I was like, wait, I think I know why Jeff likes this.
And I knew he would. So
Yeah.
yes, this is great.
Yeah, of course.
But you definitely need to get into it. It's the humor's great. It's dry most of the time.
Yeah. You know,
Very snarky.
so you know what annoys me about Apple is that none of their stuff ever goes elsewhere. They hold on to all their
Wait,
shit.
Didn't the kaiju thing go to Prime for a little bit?
No, Monarch. As far
Yeah,
as I know,
Monarch.
Monarch Legacy of Monsters. As far as I know, has never left Apple.
All right.
As far as I know, but I never looked. Because that was the last time I had Apple TV was to watch that, and then I canceled it when I needed to pare everything down.
Now the other movie that is crap. Fountain of Youth.
Okay, so I heard.
I haven't
about
seen that one. Good.
That was good. Yeah, I
On-
enjoyed it. It's on Apple.
Okay.
It's a brand new
that.
one.
And it's a movie.
It's a movie.
Okay, so I saw a movie about or I saw a teaser for something.
It's
along
kind of
those
like
lines.
National Treasure, but it's Fountain of Youth.
No, I'm surprised they haven't redone Tuck Everlasting yet. Remember that shit from high school or junior high? Whenever we read that book, there was a movie back in the day for Tuck Everlasting. I remember watching it as we were reading the book because I liked a good English class. So we're like, here's the book and here's the movie at the same time.
Yeah, this has John Krasinski and Natalie Portman in it,
That's right. Okay, so I did see a thing for that.
It's on my watch list.
so that's good.
So it's about Cortez slashing his way through fucking Florida.
No, this is a little bit different.
Oh, I want to watch that series too, though. When he's literally looking everywhere in South America and the Gulf Coast, looking for the hacking his way through.
So I've got the micro
Conquistadors.
to watch this week. I've got the
And those-
Fountain of Youth
By the way, those are only like 28-minute
Yeah.
episodes, so that's real easy to binge.
coming out soon's the new Jurassic Park.
Yep.
We've been
Looking forward to that.
We talked about that last week for a little bit.
And I just saw the
Oh.
second trailer for the Billy Madison 2.
I'm so not interested in that at all.
I so am.
Talk about legacy sequels that never needed to happen.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
So I will say, the big mystery around Jurassic World Uprising is it's Rebirth.
Rebirth. There you go.
It's either Uprising,
It's
Rebirth, or New Fallen Kingdom, something, because everything was Fallen Empire last year. We now know what the big bad looks like, because toilers, as they're called, toy spoilers. So the D-Rex, as it was leaked, we now know what it looks like, and it's fucking weird. So it looks like
I haven't seen it yet.
So the toy looks like the rear leg's back is just straight up T-Rex. Then it gets a little bit bigger, and it has large forearms that it walks on like feet, and then it has tiny little T-Rex arms as well. I got the image. I'll send it to you. Here, I'll send it in the chat so you guys can see it, because I saved it earlier. I sent it to Sean. Where did it go? Hold on. It's not in my photos for some reason.
Got it.
Where did it go? I had the fucking photo.
Distorus Rex.
Distortus. Are you looking at the toy? Or are you looking at the...
I'm looking at some shots from the movie. Oh, good gosh. It looks like friggin' Alien.
Yeah. So the one...
I mean, like Alien 4.
Yeah. So it has definite T-Rex rear arms. It's got like proper like forearms, like actual...
my little arms.
But it also has a big bulbous head, almost like a... what is the fucking... beluga. Like a beluga whale.
Yeah.
But the question is, they said that it's more of a mutant. This thing was not supposed to exist this way. It's a failed creation when they were trying to create original Rexy. So basically, what we're going to get in that movie is a lot of things they didn't mean to make.
Well, this is a little bit more like Star Wars.
For real.
They literally compared it to the Rancor.
Yeah.
That's definitely Rancor. But the thing is about it, they said that the thing, basically because it's a mutation and things aren't right with it, it's constantly in pain, and that's why it's fucking angry. And
I did finish, speaking of Rancor, I did finish
Mando
and the Book of Boba Fett.
Okay, so we need to talk
Dude, riding the fucking Rancor into battle was awesome.
Wow, we'll just go straight to the fucking spoilers at the end. Like, it's not even going to fucking...
Well, dude, if you haven't seen it... Oh.
Yeah, I have.
That one, you haven't seen all of Mando, have you?
Yeah.
I thought you started it, but never got through it.
I've watched all that.
Oh, then that was him.
Yeah.
That was me. I'm the one who hasn't seen shit in years.
The only one I haven't watched is
You
Andor.
didn't see Andor.
Yeah.
That's right.
I started Andor.
Yes, good. Andor?
Indoor.
And everybody.
But did you watch Rogue One? But
Yeah.
did you, beforehand?
No.
I told you to watch Rogue One first.
Okay, I'll watch Rogue One.
Yeah, before you get too much further. You need to set up for where the character goes.
Dragon.
You got to watch it backwards. Almost. You got to watch it backwards and sideways. It's fine. But no. Thoughts on Mando?
Yeah, Mando was good. There were a couple episodes that were almost unnecessary.
Yeah, a lot of those, yes.
The whole scientist thing, and
Well, that was necessary.
well, him getting backstabbed by that chick was just nuts.
Which...
Where he flips sides, and he's sitting there as a scientist working for the Republic,
Oh,
and then she rats him out to further her own cause because she's the spy.
yeah. Well, that was necessary because this is setting up the First Order. So this is in between Star Wars sagas.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the whole point of the Mandoverse, was setting up the somehow Palpatine returned. That's why you focus so much on the scientist who's all about cloning and how he has the understanding of making clones that can use or have midichlorians, because clones don't, because they're not normal life forms. That's why they wanted Grogu. They needed somebody who had a fuckload of midichlorians, because of course somebody killed all the people with midichlorians and then decided that he wanted to be immortal, and the only way to do that would be to pass his consciousness to another body.
Yeah, that dude was nuts.
Yeah, it's called the Emperor. So the whole point of all of that, and then of course you get to Giancarlo Esposito's character with Moff Gideon, which is one of the better characters that they've invented.
Yeah.
And the fact that he had his own fucking private faction and broke off from the guys who were all working the unknown council or whatever they were called, basically establishing them.
That was a great final battle.
Yeah. And then the entire
on,
section
on Mandalore.
Yes.
It was insane.
Yes.
It felt like that battle could have encompassed 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah.
It could have been strung out.
They
into
did
stages.
shorten the season.
It was foreshortened a lot.
Yeah, they did shorten the season. So, but here's the thing: without watching anything of Clone Wars or Rebels, you're kind of lost on the Mandalorian lore and backstory. They cover it.
They cover a little bit.
But like getting introduced to Bo-Katan, getting introduced to the Night Watch, all that kind of stuff, all of that happens in Clone Wars and Rebels.
Okay.
Rebels is the prequel even to Andor, but also leads up to the Death Star being blown up.
I was surprised the Mandalorian ended on like a happy, peaceful note.
Yeah, that was weird.
I really, and it's so rare you see that anymore. That okay, this is nice.
Yeah, he just got to go retire on, I forgot the name of the planet.
Sort of retire, become a contractor.
He was already a contractor. He just came and went. And unfortunately, we no longer have Carl Weathers to come in and play because he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
But Gina Carano, maybe she'll sue her way back into the Universal.
Right.
They need to because she's
Marshall,
lost
whatever
weight.
it is.
Dude, she kicked ass. She was
Yeah.
great in it.
Yeah, Cara Dune, because she was made marshal of that town. Did you see the Kowakian monkey lizards on the spit getting
did.
arrested? But here's the funny part. When they first go through that town and it's still run by pirates and everything else like that, the place is a shithole.
Mm-hmm.
They run off all the pirates and everything else like that, and he makes it a nice place, starts booming the economy.
Dude, he does. He
Yeah,
flips that place in a
yeah,
hurry.
absolutely. But what you saw
Pirates
was
come back wanting to drink in a school.
Exactly.
So this is
And then-
where we drink.
and then they fight them. Yeah. But what the great part was in season 1, you see the Kowakian monkey lizards fucking being roasted on a spit. You see the sad one watching its family get eaten. Then when you come back to it, they're just hanging out in the trees, natural and whatever
Yeah.
again. It was like, huh. They gave us a weird little mini story about how the plight of the monkey lizards. It was like with like 10 minutes of screen time total, right? Just seeing that little shit like that. I like the inclusion. I'm going back years now, remembering it all. Like Book of Boba Fett was a hurried mess of him sleeping in back.
It was, but
Yeah.
but it was necessary.
it included a lot of the Mando.
Yeah, the back 3 episodes.
Yeah.
That's what we call season 2.5.
Yeah, it was neat.
Because that's why I told you is like you have to watch Boba Fett because otherwise you have no idea how he gets Grogu back.
Man, the final battle in the Book of Boba Fett was insane.
Yeah, somebody riding a Rancor like the good old days. Like that used to happen.
I was literally in my van going, "No way!"
And then Grogu calming the beast when it was on a rampage. Knocks Daddy out of the way and he's just like, no.
Stay.
Yeah. But how'd you think of the de-aged Luke?
That was shocking.
Yeah, if you didn't know, like
Dude,
that was the
when
thing.
he rolled in. I sent you the text.
Yeah,
Dude, holy shit!
yeah. And the funny part was,
the rescue.
yeah. So when they first rescued, I don't know why I went to
Grogu.
that camera. So whenever the end of season 2, when Luke comes in to rescue them,
You
from
see
the
this
ship,
hooded figure enter the ship and just start fighting his
Yeah.
way through everything.
the green lightsaber happens.
Yes.
That was the biggest thing. And once again, if you go back to when I was talking about Lost Souls, that animated band, the song "The Return" is
Yeah.
literally about Luke coming back
But
for
he
that.
pulls that hood back and my jaw dropped.
So here's the thing: there was one guy on the internet right after that episode said, "Man, that is really not a good face replacement, deep fake, whatever you want to call it, de-aging." So he went through using his techniques in like within 3 days of that episode dropping, put out a better one. So Disney said,
Well,
"Hey, how did you do that?"
In the cast, though, it
Yeah.
was still Mark Hamill voicing.
Yes,
So, yeah.
but here's the thing:
Or did he actually play?
No.
And they did the CGI.
no,
over?
there was a guy.
Okay.
There was a young guy. So when they came back for Mando 2.5,
It looks so much better.
it looks so much better because they used that guy's technics. They might have hired him. I don't remember because he was just a YouTuber. Just some YouTuber just said, "Hey, I can do
some of
better
the
than
detail,
Disney."
The ant bots that were slowly and
Building the
methodically
temple.
building the temple. That was so cool.
Yeah, just to know it gets wiped out later is sad. But Ahsoka being set upon her mission through that was good because now you got to watch Ahsoka. But once again, you need to watch all of Rebels. You don't have to. You have to watch Rebels to watch Ahsoka.
Ahsoka, Whataburger tentacle lady. Gotcha. She's orange and white.
It's racist.
No, it's not. It's
Literally, it is.
descriptions.
Do you ever watch the Bad Batch?
No, because I heard it wasn't that good.
Yeah,
I heard it had
started
good
watching it, haven't finished-
episodes.
It had, yeah.
It has good episodes, but not a good series. But the idea is great.
Yeah.
Because Bad Batch are clones that went wrong, but they put them together in their own squad, and then they survived episode 66, Order 66.
Yeah.
Also, why didn't they do that? I never thought about that. When in Clone Wars,
What, just like the Star Wars version of Suicide Squad?
basically,
Yeah.
pretty much, that's exactly what it is. Because also clones are illegal at that point, so they're also doing illegal missions, trying not to get
I
killed.
mean, we're not clones.
because the other thing is eventually whenever he got to the point, like Order 66 was programmed in there so all the clones would kill the Jedi. That was in Revenge of the Sith. We see Rex and a few others survive that at the end of Clone Wars and then into Rebels, because clones are never meant to get old. They're supposed to age quickly, get to their thing, be expendable service units.
Yeah.
So they weren't meant to get old.
15-year lifespan or something.
Something, yeah. So a few of them escaped that and lived into the New Republic even. Because we see one or two in the Obi-Wan series. He runs into a couple. Like literally doing the old soldier on the street, homeless, fucking sad shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like the fact that anybody would see a clone, but of course it was meant to represent the clones he knew because he worked beside them. Either way, with Ahsoka, that goes in a whole different direction, but you have to watch Rebels to know what's going on there because that's literally like Rebels season 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's in live action instead of animated. But with Mando, there's supposed to be more because they're supposed to have the Cara Dune series, Rangers of the Republic. Oh well, we threw that away, and then we get the fucking Acolyte that, thank God, is dead. Hopefully, Andor, way better of a series in my opinion because you know what? Also, and I didn't mention this when I was talking about it. What made both Rogue One and Andor great and look like and feel like it's in the Star Wars universe. There's very little CG. They're just adapting things. Mm-hmm. They're not allowed to use any technology on screen that is newer than the shit they had when they made Star Wars. So they're finding old stuff so that you look like you're literally set in the same universe. They shoot it differently so that it still has a little bit of that older grainy look to it and everything else like that. So they had like a show Bible that kept them on track. So even though the series was made way later than Rogue One, it drops right in like it's straight up there, because they use the same shit. Even to the point they don't use the volume at all, which is all they used in Mando. Mm-hmm. The big screens where you're literally living just on a big, instead of blue screen, you live in the volume. They were not allowed to use the volume for Andor. They went to locations all over the fucking world, including, I think it's one of the Tesla factories in Europe. And like shit like that because it was a cool ass looking building. So there's like, this is fucking sweet. We're using this. And there was like a UN council building, I think, somewhere also that they used just because it had a really kick ass lobby. Yeah. And so, Andor, fantastic, way better series. Like,
I'm looking forward to that. If you'll let me step back to the Book of Boba Fett, one thing that really struck me is Boba Fett got his ass kicked entirely too much.
Because he's an old man. He's an old man.
So much time in the back to tank.
Yeah.
Just healing.
Well,
I mean, if it wasn't for his bodyguards and the cyborg kids, and everyone else,
don't get me started on the fucking cyborg Power Ranger
everyone else that he surrounded himself with, he would have been dead 3 or 4 times.
Yes, but that was the point, is he was supposed to be coming back from the dead, literally. Oh, that was funny. They also they gave you a character that you'd never been introduced to with Kane.
Yeah,
I forgot his first.
I did enjoy him being taken in by the Sand People.
Yeah.
That was really good, really neat, and it ended so horribly.
Yep. Yeah, him learning about the Tusken Raiders was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was supposed to make us sympathize with them after what they did to Shmi. It's the whole thing. Mm-hmm. He did the Dances with Wolves things. It's fine. But, I mean, he learned to be a better fighter that way.
For real.
But that established why he came in and kicked so much ass when he came into Mando.
He learned to rock that shillelagh. I mean,
That's actually called a punchy stick.
A wampum.
No, punchy stick is the actual thing. I forget what the actual term is, but it's based on actual like Maori type things. So the one end is like meant for smashing the shit out of things
with the spike on the one end.
Yeah. Adam Savage made one a while back. But Boba Fett had its moments. The back half was fine. The first half that was all flashbacks.
The first episode, him ripping himself out of the friggin' Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, people were mad about that
I was pretty tickled.
because he got out. He said originally he got out by a different way, but I mean it was fine the way he did it. But that's one reason why that he was there. They made it look like he'd been in there for like 25 minutes or something. I think he was actually in there for a couple of years.
Oh, good gosh.
That's why he was like semi fucked up because the stomach acid I think had been eating away at him. They're like, well, Beskar armor doesn't fucking melt from acid. Yeah, but his wasn't actually ever meant to be.
He might have ran out of air.
That too. Like the air tank on it was limited.
He can seal, but
But I like the idea that he came out of it and then lost his armor because the fucking Jawas came
immediately,
along. Yeah, Jawa stole his shit and left him to die. I mean, to be fair, they thought he was dead. What are they going to do with him? But technically speaking,
that friggin' white raisin got pulled out of the Sarlacc pit.
yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, he's also old by that point too, because he was a kid in the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So that means he's lived this fucking long, been through God knows how many battles, and now he's survived past the fucking Empire, and is now being set up for the New Republic and all this other shit. You know, you can't do the bounty hunter thing anymore. That's kind of illegal. But he's like, no, I want to sit here and just be a fucking gangster. I want to take out the Hutts and take out everybody else. I mean, that part was cool.
It was basically Tulsa King.
I got mad that the
moved in, took over everything.
I'll say though, the chick who was running that one fucking bar, she was fucking hot.
Yeah,
for a Twi'lek, she was hot. I mean, most Twi'leks are hot, but still. But then the big old other Wookiee,
starts with a C.
Something chrysanthemum or something like that.
Chrysanthemum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
black chrysanthemum. Yeah,
Freaking badass dude.
I got the comic book out there about his history.
Cool.
Yeah, they had to change it.
Yeah, he was a gladiator.
He had an established history, and then they rewrote it slightly for the show. So they put out a new comic explaining new canon. So funsies. Either way, yeah, I'm excited for you to get to Andor, but I'm glad you enjoyed Mando because it was good.
Yeah, it was.
Because it's people who knew what the fuck they wanted to do and only made certain changes as they went. So the Filoni, and the fuck is the other guy's name? I can't think of his name now. I can see his face. It's in the Avengers. Either I'll come back to it.
Yeah, or not.
Or not. So I'll figure out a way to watch Murder Robot. We'll get there eventually. That's the thing. Oh, was there anything else you're looking forward to seeing? Because I know you were like, you had some other things you wanted to watch. I forgot what you said.
Not really at the moment. I'm kind of got a list, and I'll roll through those.
Okay.
I watched Daredevil.
You
did
said,
you?
Series.
You said you were interested in going to the Jurassic Park.
Heck yeah.
Well, yeah, we're gonna go see that.
Oh, you want to all just run at the same time and meet back here?
That's what we should do.
Good.
Do a movie review.
Thursday or Friday?
When is it dropping? This week?
The 2nd.
That's today.
That's today. I don't think it drops on a Monday.
We can get you next week.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll figure out a date to go. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. All right. So Chad,
Oh, fuck.
I heard you got a chance to watch some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. You had a far more interesting weekend than we did. I know you can't tell us everything, but we want to hear a little bit of what the fuck, because we all got a very crazy fucking message from him. And we're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
I got a very crazy awakening.
Yeah. I left someone that was very
Is that Friday or Saturday?
Friday.
Friday. Okay.
Very I guess heartbroken, stressed, and anxiety and everything going on because I made a call and said,
Yes, Heidi was for a very good reason, was very upset.
yeah.
Yes, so
For a good 24 hours, yeah, I was in a lovely Airbnb and it was okay.
Yeah, I get a phone call of Heidi freaking out.
Yeah.
Panic attack. So still asleep, I throw on clothes, run a brush through my beard, grab my dog, and haul ass.
yeah.
And I'm there, quick.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, you spent the night in jail. Was it county or city?
County.
It's only
Okay.
county.
Well, I didn't know.
Cities rarely have their own jail.
I don't know. Conroe does.
Yeah, that's where they hold them until they transport them to county.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was just doing it overnight. Either way. So were you at work or were you at home?
I was at work.
Okay. I didn't. Well, so you know what's funny? I was in the area. I had driven past both the shop and the house.
Okay.
And then when I got home from work, those messages came by. I was like, I just saw his ass at the shop a little while ago. What the fuck happened? So you got picked up for reasons. I guess it's technically only the second person I've ever known is had to go to jail for a thing. No, third. The other guy, he had to do years. So, that was some horse shit. But either way, you're very familiar with some horse shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, kind of similar horse shit.
Oh, great. Thank you.
I'll tell you, but far more severe.
Okay.
If I'm being fair, that was Carlos. He got out a couple years ago, but he got wrangled up in some nonsense very similar to that. But you care to tell us about your time behind bars? Just for funsies.
It was mainly sitting there for a while before I went back, but
Yeah, you probably set up a holding for probably 6 hours.
no, I wasn't there too long. Well,
Oh, really?
I was there from 11 till about 3 before I went back.
Okay.
And of course, I didn't eat or drink anything by the time I was there. I was so pissed off about the whole situation, why I was there.
So
I just felt
So let me ask you this: were you aware they were coming, or
No, I had no idea.
Total surprise.
Total surprise.
Okay, because we're not going into any details, but there's been stuff happening in real life, and we haven't been able to talk about it on the show. Hopefully, in the future, we'll be able to talk about it once more.
Once you're vindicated.
once more things have been situated.
Yeah.
Legally, but like we had a notion that something like this was coming to a degree.
Yeah.
But it was still kind of a like, what the fuck? Like just busted in on the shop or just knocked on the door?
No, they just walk right in.
Hello.
Yeah. As for
Hi.
me, yeah, the look from Jesus because I couldn't see him at first because I'm in the back corner, and then Jesus looked over at him and looked over at me, and I could see his face just like
He turned white.
yes, very much so. He was like.
Sorry, you turned pink.
He was like, he was like, fuck, what do I do? And so he's just kind of,
I was gonna say, but they came in asking for you initially, so that he didn't think it's like, oh shit, they're here for me.
yeah.
Okay. Because there was a big old raid in Florida this weekend. I don't know if you guys heard about that. It was like 1,200 people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
Either way, so was it troopers or city cops?
it was county.
Okay. I don't know. You guys are in a weird, like, not a city, not a big thing situation in between the middle of nowhere. So I don't know who does the work over there. That's why I'm asking. And they say, hey, Mr. Chad, you're going to need to come with us, please. And then you said, fuck you, cops. And you tried to run. You got tased.
No.
Nothing exciting.
Didn't do anything that
You're not going to be a video?
No.
Oh, damn. That would have been fun. Play on the show. Hey, here's Chad's arrest video.
Yeah.
Why is his shirt off? Why is he being tased? Why did he yell the N-word 3 times? They were white.
No, nothing like that. I was like, you know what?
Damn. It's not, I mean, it's just angering, not exciting.
Yeah. I was more, like I said, I was pissed off about the
Pissed off, frustrated.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's only been a few months since this entire nonsense has started of angriness anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single day.
No, I get taken and we go up there and I go through all the stuff and everything, basically by myself the whole time. And then I get placed. We start walking back and everything in this holding cell room, whatever the hell you want to call it. And there's, off to one side, we go in one spot and the guys are like rowdy. Oh, I'm looking like, oh shit, hope I'm not in over there.
Yeah.
And then we go, it's over here and it's one dude over there and he's just pacing back and forth. Hey man, how's it going? So, and I'm like, okay. And a couple more guys show up later on. And so it was, if anything, it was probably the most chill area to be in.
Yeah.
But there was one psychotic guy that he was just out in left field all the time. Yeah. And he would go and say some weird crap, get up on the phone, call people, leave a message for about 5 minutes, go back, start it again.
So is it like they show on TV? It's like one big tank full of like 20 dudes?
No.
Or is it like an area?
It's an area.
Okay. So it's like one room, not
One
like
room.
a cell.
Correct.
Okay. That's what I'm asking. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Bunks on the wall?
Yep.
Okay.
For if you need a nap.
Yeah.
Did you need a nap?
Yeah, I would love to have a nap, but of course the situation.
say, did you
I was
sleep
so
at all?
stressed, about 2 hours maybe.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah, because you're also kind of like, I don't really want to fall asleep in this situation.
it really wasn't that bad, and they weren't that type of the people or anything either. But I just couldn't fall asleep. I was just tired,
Yeah.
and stressed, and I was just.
I was going to say, was it the first thing you did when you got home? Just go to bed for
Pretty
a couple
much,
hours?
yeah.
Yeah. Because you got out Saturday morning, which
Yeah.
you're all super relieved.
I told Heidi we were just going to leave y'all alone, let you decompress, let y'all do your own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have Jessica. Oh, I didn't have her, but I said, you need to get a hold of Heidi when you can and fucking let her vent to you if she needs to.
You know, I called Heidi that night and asked her if she wanted to come dinner our place. I'd send Luke to get her, want us to bring her dinner. And no,
That was
no,
my
no.
concern is like, shit, how the hell is Heidi going to get anywhere?
Yeah.
Especially if your vehicle was at the shop.
But
Yeah.
we were, we made sure she was had everything
Yeah,
she
I
needed
appreciate
or
it,
wanted
yeah.
at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what we were like, okay. Because I think Jessica has her number, but otherwise I don't have another way to get a hold of Heidi. If
Yeah,
we need
there was
anything.
only a couple of calls I was able to make.
I was just surprised I'm the first one she called.
Yeah.
Well, the only one she probably knew that was available.
Yeah.
Everybody else is day jobby. I mean, technically I was available at the time, but I was also realistically right down the street.
Yeah.
Like if you said it was around 11, give or take.
Yeah, just before it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was literally, well, I mean, it was further north, but I was right
Not very
there.
far. Yeah.
Hell,
Yeah.
Even River was trying to comfort her, but Bear kept being a bitch.
That's funny. But
Good
yeah,
little dog, but
Yeah.
needs a bath.
that's funny. But yeah, so I mean, we were worried about you for obvious reasons, because we didn't know what we were going to do about the show.
Oh, that was our main concern, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that's
Okay,
it.
it wasn't the main concern, but I did immediately because I didn't know if you were going to be up for like.
I was actually
because it was
surprised.
Friday. I figured that you're going to be in all weekend, but then you said, "Thank God that at least there they've got judges on Saturday mornings to."
Can you
Yeah.
pause for a second?
If the battery saver is on, then it'll just keep draining but never charge.
Okay.
Because it's plugged in, it shouldn't have died. I mean, like this camera is going and it's fine. My camera's running and nothing's happening and it didn't do whatever. But outside of Chad's thing, so obviously there's more to come from the situation in the future, and we'll hopefully be able to talk about it more later once more shit has. Well, I guess once you're known what you can legally talk about.
Yeah.
Because it's a very complicated fucking situation.
Right now, it should probably be nothing.
Yeah.
So that's why we're just talking about you going to jail, not why, But obviously, we're here for you.
I appreciate it.
Whatever you need.
I know it's a situation. I'm sorry that everybody's gonna have to hear what was going on. So
Yeah. I mean, it might be better for people to finally get to hear about it, because you guys have literally been suffering in silence outside of the handful of us who know everything.
it's been eating up on me.
Yeah.
Just knowing that if I look over my shoulder, what's going to happen, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then finally, it came down to it. It's like, you know what? I'm not really stressed. I know how to move forward with it and what to do.
Yeah.
And I know what needs to happen type deal. So
Yeah.
it's a shitty situation,
'Cause
but it's
You've basically been sitting on a fucking live hand grenade.
yeah.
And it's only the thing has popped, but nothing's exploded 100% yet.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's like the entire situation is fucking shitty to begin with. And it's just, we prayed for y'all, throughout this, at least for some kind of strength and guidance and everything else like that, just to keep on it. But I mean, like knowing what you guys are going through, that's one reason why it's like I try to push to get you back here when you can, even today, even though it was a little bit more stressful. And obviously we're getting a lot of interruptions just because life is life. But it's like, yeah, you need some away time to deal with some shit and talk and not think about all the giant pile of garbage that's fucking happening right now, including, partially the phone call you just took. It didn't have to do with that situation, but it's a whole other situation wrapped into it. It's just like, fuck, man. That's like whenever, like when wrecked the car, Jessica's foot gets broken and all this other shit falls on us. My mom has a heart attack, everything else like that all happened all at once. It's like things happen in threes, and I think you're at 7 today,
The weight of all that together got to be crushing. I mean, it's got to be heavy.
Hey, look at there. That's what happens when a phone actually charges.
There you go.
I'll get it on here in a second. Technical problems. We got lights not wanting to do the thing. Maybe it's just that one plug sucks today.
That and I'm running out of time.
You got time.
Bullshit.
You have a short drive today.
Yeah, but I need to be in the shower by 5:30.
No, we're literally 8 minutes away.
Yeah.
You got time. We have
No,
tired.
not at 5 o'clock. No way in hell at 5 o'clock down that road.
You'll make it.
That's a 20-minute drive.
You can make it. It's fine. We'll get you out of here by 5:08.
Shoot, I'll cave by myself and go.
Oh, because we've just been talking about this stuff. We haven't even got to any of the news or anything else like that. Because, I mean, outside of all the entertainment news, I wanted to talk about something I just saw this morning that is fucking absurd. I don't know if you guys have heard about who Bonnie Blue is. Have you heard anything?
That sounds familiar. I don't know.
So she's the woman who just set the world record a little while ago for most men had sex with in a single day.
Okay.
At 1,037.
That's something to be proud of.
Now,
Oh,
mind,
God.
so she decided because another chick is coming after
Hot
her.
dog
record.
down a hallway.
Yeah. So she just announced that on June 15th in central London, she's going to up the ante by doubling it
Oh, good gosh.
in public. She's going to be in a glass box, tied up, totally accessible to whoever just wants to come in and rock it for a few seconds.
That's going to be.
So forget about just the sheer disgustedness of it. She already talked about just the first go round, how physically disruptive and destructive it was to her body.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, there we go. We got camera back finally. Yay. Yeah, so it must have been that plug. Either way. So now she's wanting to do at least 2,000 people. She took volunteers for all the other stuff. And a lot of these guys came in and were wearing balaclavas and stuff like that, covering their faces, because a lot of these guys aren't single.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are just like, they want to come fuck a porn star. Mind you, she was an OnlyFans model, and now she's straight up porn. You can totally find her stuff on certain hubs. I've done research. It's fine.
I'm sure you have extensively.
No, it wasn't very extensive.
was
It's
gonna
on
say, I don't
the,
think
it's
it's
on the
something
front
wrong.
page. It's not very extensive. It's just like,
God.
oh, hey, here's. But the other chick, and she is British, so whatever. But it's like, you're talking about literally having sex with strangers. And I assume she's just going to be tied up and like bent over for 24 hours straight. And dudes are just going to be able to basically glory hole her all day long in whatever hole they want. And that's fucking ridiculous. And for some reason, people are completely on board with this.
God, the society.
For real.
Like, we've already talked about the issues the UK has. But if they allow this to just happen, it's fucking insane.
That is primed for a terror attack at that very moment.
Not saying what I'm thinking. Not saying what I'm thinking.
But
Not saying what I'm thinking.
They better. I don't know. It's bad things can happen, and it might.
I mean, the bad thing is her literally whoring herself out.
Exactly. And
We can start there and then worry about anything
What kind of
else.
extremist organizations would have a major problem with that?
I mean, none that would be prosecuted in the UK.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they would even allow her to do it in a public place at all is insane.
That is insane.
Because, and not only that, it's being filmed. So it is being filmed, and it's going to be in public, and it's just going to be accessible to whoever wants to walk up and do the thing. And she's like, yeah, I kind of hope that married men and boyfriends and dads want to come up and do this. And so I was like,
Well, what's the problem? Is kids and everything are going to see it. So
Yes,
it's humiliation all around on every
Yeah.
it's
count
just,
of anything.
it like,
It's just a bad look for
It's
the
like-
UK.
and I don't technically want to wish bad on anybody, but I hope she gets to a point that she can't do it anymore. Like, not mentally, but literally so physically damaged that she can never bother to do this again. I want her to continue to live, but like the damage taken last time, if I recall, extreme bruising and damage on at least the two back end, because dudes are just going to town and they only have a little bit of time. They did the math. The website I was looking at did the math. It said basically you get like 43 seconds if you're going to maximize the time.
Yeah.
And that's if it's 2,000 people over the course of 24 hours. It's not going to be 24 hours. It's probably going to be closer to about 19 or 18, which takes it down to maybe less than 30 seconds. So basically it's in and out, or, there's any possible spot available. It's like, and not to mention she's going to be tied up and restricted the entire time. She's going to be incredibly fucked up.
I mean, who
And
knows?
for what? And for what? Fame?
For real.
Why would you want to be known?
And who knows what kind of depraved individual is going to get in there and
All
assault her, damage her?
That's the whole goal. I think she just wants to be destroyed. Because this is nothing but this is ultimate self-destructive behavior. Because in theory, if it's bad enough and she's tied up wrong, she could suffocate, die, or blood flow get cut off to something. She might have fucking aneurysm for all we know. And unless they're going to have medical people standing by with very large Q-tips or something, I don't know. She's definitely going to need a diaper for at least a week afterwards. I mean, not trying to be gross. That's the seriousness of this situation, because she wants to play this porn star game. And there was another girl I saw. All she did was I think 30 or 40 dudes in like an afternoon, And she said it wrecked her so fucking bad just doing that she wants to retire from it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a newbie to begin with. Because, they, I mean, let's be fair here. We've all watched porn at some point. Let's not pretend you were in the military. It's like all you guys ran on was porn, hate, and caffeine.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
You forgot nicotine.
yeah. I mean, you guys were literally slapping nicotine patches to your dick, so it's fine.
I never did that.
You didn't. Somebody did. Either way. But the whole point is like, you see what just a normal standard.
Say I smoked like a good degenerate.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you can't smoke in public anymore, so now it is what it is. They're all doing Zins in their foreskin, is what it is. Sorry, that's an unsub joke. I'm just stealing it. That's straight up from unsub. Three Zin packets in the foreskin. Either way. But no, it's just this ridiculously degenerative behavior. Like, what the fuck? Like, how did we get here? Like, in the 90s, if a woman showed her tits in public, you would fucking be shamed everywhere.
Who was it? Janet Jackson?
Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Look at the outburst from that, and that wasn't even full exposure.
Yeah, that was an accident.
No, it wasn't. That was 100% planned. You're telling me she just happened to have a pasty on under a piece of material that came off incredibly fucking easy when Justin ripped it? Yeah, that was on purpose. That was shock factor.
Oh, well.
So imagine she did this in the fucking middle of the Super Bowl and literally lined up all the players. And she had literally the 20 minutes or however long halftime was of the Super Bowl to just get plowed by as many players as possible. I guarantee you that shit might happen. And if they keep allowing this behavior to just go. And I'm not generally one to want to police other people's behaviors, but come on. Like, your dad didn't smack you enough. Like, or something. Or maybe he was gone. Maybe he went out for cigarettes or something. Like, what damaged her to the point that she is willing to destroy her body and soul like this? Like, it's one thing to just be a standard porn star, because that's already bad enough. But you get to kind of choose what you want to do and, pick your partners if you're at a certain point. But at this point, she's talking about literally random dudes. Anybody who just wants to, like, they have scheduled gentlemen and then they have open to the public. It's like she's literally just going to be a fucking glass box glory hole. That might be the title. That might be the title now that I just said it out loud. Literally
a caucus.
Yeah. It's insane. And I saw that in the news. Like all the other entertainment news we got going on, I inserted this story like so many gentlemen into a Bonnie Blue. But because it's like, what the fuck? Like, and as far as I've seen, all of these chicks who've been doing this are in the UK. Because I feel like the American ones know better, I guess.
Or
I don't know if they know any better.
That's not going to happen.
Maybe decency laws to some degree. Because they're usually super strict about decency stuff over there. Well, except for in Paris, where we know they have their fun parades, I guess. And it's like, it's a good parade. I don't know what these women are mad about, but it's a good parade.
Or is it Thailand, Philippines, or China? The phallic festival.
Oh, where
the festival of dicks.
It's somewhere in Asia. Yeah, I forget what time of year that is, but I remember that. Yeah, just giant.
Giant penis float, people riding it.
Yeah, but that's a celebration of fertility and whatnot, and virility. This is just
a whole bunch of dickheads hanging out.
But in this case, this is just a whore being a whore in public. And what else would you call her? I mean, she's literally having sex with strangers for money. I don't know if she's charging them. She might be paying them.
Right.
Actually. Hey, here's 20 cents. Thanks. It's just, I don't get it. One, I'm not into gangbangs in the first place, but, just on a personal level, not really into the whole gangbang scene. But, to literally be like, let's see, 2,000 people. That's like a fucking small stadium, right?
Yeah.
It's like, that's a fucking high school football game. Gangbang. Like, no, that sounded way worse than I meant it to. Me, edit that. It's like, nope, edit that out. My bad. But no, it's just, why? Why would you ever think this? And also, what's the fucking point? You set the record already. Nobody's really going to try.
No one's going to really want to try it.
I mean, one chick did like 700 something in the interim while they were fighting for it, so to speak. So, like, while one was in the middle of filming, the other one was...
I don't understand why you'd be so proud of something. I mean, where do you go in the relationship after that? And you try to go...
A what now?
A relationship.
No. We don't.
Yeah, so the guy's going to be like...
There's no guy who would want to touch... And everybody's asking that. It's like, hey, would you guys want... Like, what would you do? Like, would you marry a woman like that? No. No, like maybe a regular porn star, because at least they have standards and they try to take care of themselves to a degree, because a lot of them are married. But literally watching a woman take 1,000 dicks in 24 hours, less than 24 hours, and I think it was about 17 technically. I forget the actual amount of time, and then now to try doubling that
70.072.
What?
24 times 60
Okay.
gives you 1,440. If you divide that by 2,000,
Yeah.
it gives you what? 0.72.
Yeah.
What is that? Seconds?
Yeah.
That's seconds.
7.2 seconds apiece.
Yeah. No, that's
70.
points. That's a percentage.
So
That's
70.
That's of an hour. That's of an hour. Because you broke it down to minutes, right?
Yeah, minutes.
You did the math there. Weird. I don't know. Because, like I said, the website earlier.
Well, there's 1,440 minutes in a 24-hour period.
Okay. So you divide that by 2,000. So you got less than a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at. Yeah. So 70 some odd seconds.
7.2 seconds.
A little bit.
It's less than a minute. It can't be.
Well, because it was saying it. Well, what I saw was like 45 seconds or something like that. Either way, it's fine.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just that it doesn't matter, because frankly, the idea is absurd, let alone trying to do the math on, because I know we're talking about sensitive subject YouTube, but you're going to have to just bear with me here. Unfortunately, just to get it done, fill everything as
For
much
real,
as possible.
it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and people will do it. And now knowing that it's in public, it'll be a public quote unquote. It's just, I don't know. I think she wants to die by dicking, and I hate to say that, but it's what, like, no, I mean, like, if the first time around fucked her up so bad, like, she was emotionally unstable, because they interviewed her right after. They did a documentary about it, not just the porn. They filmed a documentary about the porn. And like, she was so messed up, even though they like cleaned her up and everything. They're like, she was trying to talk about it. She talked about how everything hurt. It's like, yeah, no shit. It's like normal women will be in some pain if you just have a rough night.
Hell.
And you just went for 15 some odd hours with God knows how many dudes and how many different variations. It's so stupid.
I don't know. At this point, I'm done talking about it.
It feels like she wants death.
Yeah, that's not worth our conversation.
No, but it's just this is the generation that we live in. We got people who don't want to fucking wear a black shirt because it affects their fucking personality somehow. And you got another woman over here who is fucking insane. Literally.
One death by cock.
Okay, so before we fucking get too far or wrap the show up, I want to mention something we've missed for several weeks now. The Voltron movie wrapped up filming.
Okay, I've missed that entirely.
Okay, so the only thing we know about it is it's starring Henry Cavill.
But live act?
And
Okay,
we-
fucking A.
And we know nothing else.
I bet he was excited as hell to do that too.
Because he's a big nerd. He actually
He's
pushed
such
for
a
it.
fucking nerd,
Yeah,
dude.
Mr. War 1040K.
Yeah, I can't wait
Or
for that
Warhammer
either.
40K.
The thing is, everybody's talking about, oh, this is going straight to Prime. So what?
So what?
Exactly.
Did you ever watch the Adam Project?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a great
Freaking
movie.
good.
Yeah, that was straight to fucking streaming.
Yeah.
It was a great
I mean,
movie.
Netflix does it all the time. I mean, Prime can start doing it now. Apple does it. So, like, why
Everybody
does it matter?
Yeah. Yeah, just because it's a streaming specific thing, plus it's Voltron.
Yes,
so if they
I'm
fuck it up, I'd rather not go to the movies to watch it.
I don't think he'd probably do it if you're really going to be fucking it up.
I guess it depends on who's producing it.
Yeah.
But I guess if it's Amazon, it's Amazon. So he already knows WB fucks everything up.
And he's going to be the leader.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It may not be the guys that we know. It might be a new set of characters.
Okay.
I hope not, but we'll see. The hard part about adapting any type of quote-unquote anime is making the weird anime magic happen on screen and not make it look stupid.
Yeah.
No, I heard he is the lead, the head guy.
Yeah,
Like the
but I
front-
don't know if
from the actual.
I don't know if he's Keith, because they said it's for
No.
a new generation of pilots.
Oh, okay.
So he might be old Keith teaching new people to pilot Voltron, like they did in that other Voltron cartoon, where it was like Voltron Force. No, that was a different
Yeah, I forgot all their names. The big guy on the orange cat.
Yeah.
I wonder who they got to
That'd
be that
yellow,
same
by
dude.
the way.
Yeah, yellow.
Yeah, it's fine. Yellow Lion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know because we watched about the Legendary Defender series on Netflix, right? You
Yeah.
watched that one?
A little bit.
Yeah, that's a great series, even though it's adapted slightly, because obviously it's a new story. It's not telling the whole thing over again, but the way they spin the whole story with all the characters, how they're connected, how you get from one pilot to another, because that was part of how in the original series, we just forget about the fact that the original pilot of the Blue Lion dies, because in the American version, you don't see that. They're just going with the Sven, the new guy, Sven. It's fine. The other guy died, and we just don't talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that whole thing. So either way, I'm not even excited for it. I'm interested to see how they're going to do it. Because if it looks anything like Bayformers, I'm out. Because, like, doing Voltron is difficult because you're going to make it too detailed. I mean, the actual robot. You're going to make it too detailed and ugly, or you're going to make it too simple so it doesn't look real.
It'd be a Pacific Rim Voltron.
Okay, if they get any of the people who fucking did the original Pacific Rim,
Yes.
the second one doesn't count, then I'm on board.
The hard part's going to be getting the fluidity of each cat moving and running properly.
Yeah, they can do that now. That's not a problem. The cat the animal running simulator is fine. That's not a problem. It's just making the robots look like anything that matters, but also capturing the scale of a giant robot lion spaceship doing battle. Because cartoon can do whatever the fuck cartoon wants.
It all depends if they're going to make it move fluidly like an actual athlete or make it move like a robot.
Well, I think it should move like a robot for the most part.
Yeah.
But I guess it depends on if we're fighting giant monsters in space or we're fighting terrorists on the ground. I guess it'll depend on what the story is. We literally know nothing. The live-action Gundam movie apparently went ahead.
Apparently, they've done a good job of keeping a lid on everything.
I think people were just so either not interested or they just don't have enough to tell us. Like, because we don't know the story as far as I know. But, you know, the only detail they said was it's a new generation of whatever. So it might be cool, might be bad. All I know is that Henry Cavill will do his best. Whatever character he's technically playing. If he's playing Keith, cool. If he's playing some other dude who's like a Keith stand-in, I'm not going to be that mad about it as long as they're good characters. They have an understanding of the project and actually want it to be that instead of something else. Because what they do now, which is what most fans are mad about, is they buy an IP and then make the story they want to tell with that IP instead of doing something that makes sense for those characters in that universe to do. That's why, like, Michael Bay did Transformers, had never even seen Transformers, didn't know fuck all about it, and then made some good movies and then garbage for a decade.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I was just reminded of Transformers.
Yeah,
5
they were
the
so
other
hit
day.
and miss. I couldn't even get into the rest of them.
No. Well, after 3, they really went downhill.
Yeah.
5 was one of the worst things I've ever watched.
Is that Rise of the Beast?
No, that was 7.
Okay.
Rise of the Beast was really bad, but not as bad as Transformers 5. Transformers 5 is an abomination, and it should be struck from the record. Like, how you ever paid any people to be in that movie is crazy. Either way. But that brings me to seemingly Superman as the movie is changing.
Yeah, they're doing most of it, I think.
They're reshooting?
Reshooting.
Well, they're doing reshoots, but here's the thing: they didn't change the release date. So they did the test screenings. They said the movie was too humorous, like way too much funny, probably more like Guardians level funny.
I can get behind that.
No, because it's in the trailer, it's all serious tone. So if the trailer shows a serious tone, but the movie itself is funny, that's kind of messing stuff up. Yeah. So if the reshoots are just basically cutting out a lot of the humorous shit and make it a little bit more serious in the correct tone, I'm okay. As long as they're not going Snyderverse dark, I'm okay with that. Now, are they going to rework the entire movie and make something completely different? Probably not. Are they just fixing some of the tonal issues and eliminating 25 minutes of screen time from something? I was like, that's either one whole scene or they're cutting some character out. I made the joke that because of China, they're removing Mr. Terrific, but that's kind of a bad joke. But, they love black people in China, right? Just ask Finn from Star Wars. But either way, so, I mean, if the test screenings weren't going that good, and they all kind of said the same thing, it's too jokey, it's not, it's not super dark, but it's too funny. Okay, fine, fix it. If it's too long and that's why they're editing it, I'm okay with not having a 3.5 hour fucking epic.
Yeah, because they have something to go. I mean, like Guardians of the Galaxy was something new we haven't been around, so was able to do that standalone. He is following in behind a line of Superman movies and characters and everything else like that. So he's being very.
I still need to make progress on the Marvel front. I think next is I still need to. Next is Ant-Man and Wasp.
Oh yeah, you're still way back there. Okay.
Yeah.
which is why you can't watch the Thunderbolts yet.
Nope.
You won't have.
I'll watch the Thunderbolts in like 3 years.
I gotta think where you're at now. Is there any character in the Thunderbolts that is even relevant? Bucky.
No, yeah, Bucky.
Bucky's the only
He's
character that you would even know. Wow.
I'll get there.
I mean, you've seen some of those movies.
Even if I watch one a week, I'll get there.
Did you ever watch Loki?
That's in line
No,
with
he
everything
didn't.
I'm going to be watching.
God, okay.
So I love
That's
Loki.
a lot
Because I got to
fucking
get
stuff.
past the MCU verse first.
Yeah.
God, I'm gonna watch Loki.
Loki is a very
So good.
It looks
Yes,
good.
it is a
I've
very
seen
good
clips where he
series.
was in the prison and all that. And
Yeah.
it
And-
looks really good.
Now,
And the new stuff coming out for Doom and how they're going to work everything. I'm like, God, this is either going to be
If-
more epic than
if they give it to-
Endgame or something like
if
that.
they
This
give it
is
to the guys who
nuts.
did Loki, I'm on board.
Yeah.
If they gave it to the guys who did anything else, it's gonna be trash. Because even I forget, Sean just now watched the new Captain America this weekend. Now that it's on Disney.
Oh, God. I heard
Yeah.
that was an abomination.
It was an abomination. Well,
It's watchable. but
actually,
it's
no.
not-
Abomination was in a different series.
Yes,
This
it
was
was.
a different Hulk.
That's Hulk. Yeah. She-Hulk.
That was She-Hulk. Actually, I liked Abomination in that.
Yeah.
She-Hulk did not deserve all of the hate. It deserved some of the hate. I already talked circles with my old co-hosts about She-Hulk. I don't need to talk about it ever again.
I wish Moon Knight would get another episode.
Moon Knight's never going to get another thing because
No,
he basically quit being Moon Knight. Cool, get another actor.
And hell, I still need
story over.
And I need to catch up on Daredevil.
I think I'm going to make a story over
Reborn.
everything shirt.
I
You said Daredevil before the phone
Heidi
call.
got into that with me, and she is like,
Wait, are we talking about restarting from the Netflix days or the current Daredevil?
Current.
Okay, so Rebirth.
Rebirth.
Reborn.
Reborn. Yeah, she watched that and she was like, "Oh my god, this is good." I mean, she's like the fact because he's the way they do it, investigative and everything else like that. All the other stuff is going on with it. It's not just straight up going into action. You know, Marvel superhero kind of thing. There was a lot more back what's going on around like them. It was pretty freaking cool. You'll like it a lot.
Sorry, Born Again. Once again, all these titles. There's Reborn, Rebirth, Born Again. So Empire was last year. This year is something being reborn. You got time. I'm watching.
No, I don't.
I'm watching the clock. You got 7 minutes.
He's looking. If he had lasers, you'd
Look,
be
it's
gone.
not my fault we started late. Actually,
Yes,
It's
partially.
my fault. Sorry.
It's partially my fault we started late. I didn't have everything set up because I thought we were going to set up out there. That's why I didn't set up everything in here. Either way, good point. All that, yes, but I will need to make a story over everything shirt and just put all the logos of all the different studios, DC, Marvel, everybody's screwing everything up. Even they're screwing up the new Harry Potter series and it hasn't even started filming yet. You know, we got Black Snape now. Tell me how Snape's story doesn't get worse by making him black.
We got Snape Dogg.
I have not heard that joke yet, so congrats.
Yay.
You somehow got out a joke before all the other nerds. And then slightly not white Hermione. But that's okay. Like if you actually see the actress,
Literally a mudblood.
that joke has been made. Once again, all these other racial terms from oh God, Snape being the half-blood prince. That's so much worse. Everything about Snape's story is worse when you make him black. I hate to say that, but it's true. But either way, no, they showed off the kids who are going to play Ron, Hermione, and Harry. The unfortunate thing is that the young lady playing Hermione at the time of the photograph seems to have gotten a little too much sun. She's not black. People are like, oh, we got black Hermione. She's not black. She's got some other heritage, but she's not black. But she just is darker.
She's got a hefty tan.
Yeah, she's got a hefty tan. But if you see her in some other things, she just looks like a normal white girl.
Yeah.
So it just came down to bad picture day, kind of. But apparently she's actually a very good young actress. I think I've seen her in one or two things. And if the actor is good, I don't care if there's a slight difference. But if you make me a black Ariel with dreadlocks with daddy who's clearly been fucking his way around the oceans, I'm going to feel a certain way about it. It's a little bit weird. Still didn't watch that movie, and I'm glad I didn't. Jessica wanted to go see Lilo and Stitch this weekend, and once I heard about all the changes they
I heard it was terrible.
Completely ruined the ending of it. Completely changed the message.
they changed the message.
Yeah, Hayden told me about it, and he said,
Hey, family first.
Don't.
No, take care of yourself. Get rid of everything that stands in your happiness.
That's literally the modern sensitivity,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like literally, they made Nani like straight out of 2025. I'm just like selfish, kind of selfish, and I'm only going to worry about my own shit. Sorry.
Ohana means foster care.
Yes. But you know what made me mad about it? When I made this, when we talked about the trailer, the fact that Pleakley, and they are on screen a little bit in their alien forms, but for the most part, they have holographic disguises because it's going to be too hard to make a Jumba running around in fake clothes.
Giant dude.
Yeah. I'm just like, okay. But still, you're kind of, and also they apparently took characterizations from different people and moved them to other people's storylines. Like Cobra Bubbles is basically being Gantu. Like they got rid of Gantu entirely, the giant elephant shark man.
Yeah.
He's completely gone from the movie.
Dude, that dude was cool.
Yeah, and he's cool as shit. He's actually like the villain of the movie. But they gave most of his shit to Cobra Bubbles, basically turning into more of a CIA agent than just coming in and occasionally giving Nani shit for being a bad parent.
Yeah.
And like, wait, why did they do that? I was like, that doesn't even make sense. They're like, well, nobody was going to believe that a giant alien shark man. It's a giant alien shark man.
It's a fictional fucking movie.
It's like, who cares? We're already like, alien weird thing is pretending to be a dog.
Yeah.
We're already there. Who cares? So once I heard that shit about the movie, I told Jessica, I was like, I don't know if I want to go see it in theaters now.
Oh,
I was like, I was the only time I've been excited for one of these because Stitch looks good and all this other stuff. And I hear it's like, oh, they basically changed half the story and the stuff that actually mattered. It's like, oh, you mean all the stuff about family and heart and all this other stuff? Oh, that's the part they cut out? Why? It's like, I could deal with him doing like other little small adaptations I could care less about, but like, you kind of killed the point of the movie. I was like, and some people said, yeah, there's still heart in it and stuff like that. And like, I saw one argument. It's like, well, it's for kids. It's not for the adults. It's like, no, you didn't make this movie for kids. You made it for the people who saw the original one and kind of wanted to see it in
for real
action.
And you did it wrong.
And you did it wrong. And I guarantee you, it's the same thing they're going to do.
And it's going to flop.
It's the same thing. It did not flop, unfortunately.
Oh, good God.
It did really well.
Made them
apparently.
like $600 million. It did really well because it sold exactly the way they thought it would because they lied to us. So apparently, I'm thinking Dragons is going to be the exact same situation.
Oh, I hope not.
So that, once again, ruining all of our childhoods by ruining them when we're 40.
Gentlemen, I've had a blast. I have other obligations.
Yeah, we're going to wrap up. It's fine.
Okay, bye.
We didn't get to all the things, but it's fine. Fine, go sit in traffic.
Yep.
I'll finish with Chad. It's
Yay.
fine. We'll just go be without us.
Yes.
Say bye to Jefe, everybody.
Bye to Jefe, everybody.
He's literally buying like Sean, like back in the day. It's fine. It's we're at 2:15. Jessica will be calling me someday. Either way, but no, I'm sad about that and I'm mad about that. So I'm just like, whatever,
Yeah, I think that they're going to do a live action version. If they don't think they can do it to the same or better, don't do it at all.
What'd you forget?
Just drink.
Yeah, please take your large.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Say bye again.
That was Jefe, everybody.
That was Jefe. It's fine. The chairs are not even on that camera. It's fine.
I know.
I'm on the us cam. So did you ever get around to watching The Boys or anything like that?
No, I did not. I know what it's about, but yes, I have not watched it.
Okay, so on top of all the other homework you have,
Yeah.
well, because Gen V season 2 is coming, and you got to get caught up on that. So you got to watch 3 seasons of The Boys, plus a season of Gen V, and then the next season of The Boys.
All I know is
And
the
then you'll
boys
be
is
good to go.
brutal.
Boys is amazing. It's even though they put a lot of modern politics in it, they have a Trump-like character. They do a lot of shit. However, they give both sides shit, even to the point where they have the "Make America Super" again in this coming season. So, but Gen V is basically an entirely new story based off of one run in the comics, but they're building a whole separate side gig. The new trailer just dropped for it. I'm excited because I really enjoyed the first one and it left on a fucked up cliffhanger, just like The Boys always does. And so I guess they're still working on The Boys. I think there's 1 season left of The Boys. And so I don't know if that means Gen V is going to be done. But the whole idea is high school for superheroes, but in a world where they now know they were all manufactured. They weren't by accident. So spoilers for The Boys. It's like when they figure out that everybody's superpowers came from a bottle and they were all lied to about, they were all told they were natural superheroes just evolving everywhere. No, they developed a serum and they gave it to a whole bunch of different babies because they paid their parents to be experiments. And then they ramped it up in the 90s. So like you got a whole generation of superheroes and then, well, the old fucked up ones get out of the system. So Gen V season 1 was really good. Even some of the CG was a little bit weird, but otherwise Good series.
All right.
And if it's picking up after that really insane last season of The Boys, holy shit, I'm on board. So, and then we got our first teaser for, or that was a weird warning. I don't know what that was. Stranger Things season 5, final season.
Yeah.
They finally dropped
3 parts.
Yeah, 3 parts dropping. I'm guessing in like movie length format.
I was gonna say it's got to be about an hour or so long.
Well, remember they dropped like 2-hour long episodes last go around.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to make sure it just didn't interrupt the current story.
It's gonna be an epic ending of it, apparently.
It better be.
Yeah.
Part of me wonders if the bad guy will win. Ultimately.
Yeah, it's gonna be the what's gonna be at the end, right?
What?
They're talking about it's gonna be the dragon.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
That's gonna be the main.
They're going up against some kind of version of Tiamat.
Yeah.
Interesting. The big 5-headed dragon, kind of at the end of D&D. I mean, maybe that'd be cool. I mean, the Duffers are crazy. So it was originally supposed to be 6 seasons, but they had to slow it all down because time and kids aging really fast. So, but the funny part is they said there was going to be
a movie.
Yeah, they said it was going to be like a time skip, but it doesn't seem like it.
No, because it has to go right into it because the way that it ended.
Yeah,
because basically the ground. I mean, unless something happens, and I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if Vecna's really dead or.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't dead because I think you even hear his voice at the end. But also, how do you die when you're that type of creature at this point, right? Living in some kind of weird hellverse that you control with your brain. So I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. That's a good thing about Stranger Things is it's always been a story that you have no clue what the hell they're going to do with it. You know,
Eddie better be back.
Huh?
Eddie better be back.
Eddie's definitely dead. Unless his spirit somehow is trapped.
They talked about it, so I don't know what's going on with that. But
I mean,
they even talked about him being something.
I mean, if they start trying to introduce ghosts of people in the Upside Down, because not that many people die in the Upside Down.
Yeah, that's the thing. They came there to do whatever. It was so it might be a little different
because they didn't even bring his body back. But I can't remember what happened to him. I think they just left him.
They just left him
because they had to get out.
Yeah.
Right. So he died. Distracting the Hellbats, right?
I wonder if he becomes a vampire.
That would be funny. That would be funny. Well, what's really insane is that whole last season was they had the kind of the Christian athletes like doing the whole what do they call that back in the day? The Satanic Panic.
Yeah.
And then literally the end of the season, hell opens up underneath Hawkins. It's like maybe they were right. It's like they were right without being right, you know? It's like they were trying to kill Eddie, and Eddie literally did nothing at all. He was just some dork fucking hanging out with some kids, you know, and then died a hero.
Yeah, he was acting all badass and everything, but he was really like.
I don't even think he was acting as a badass at any point. He just was an outsider rock dude.
Yeah.
And then he was hanging out with these kids, and nobody understood why. And then they're playing this game called Dungeons and Dragons.
And he liked hanging out and doing it.
Yeah, but I mean, that literal thing happened at that time and place. You know, we barely lived through it. You know, we were a little bit too young.
Yes.
But I know some slightly older nerds who literally lived through that. They're tearing down toys and taking down D&D type games and stuff like that, all claiming they were super satanic. And then, you know, we've got the weird ass shit they do nowadays. So I don't even know how that's right. But I mean, that's around about the same time that they also can't have toy guns look like real guns anymore.
Yeah.
That's why Megatron can't be a gun anymore in Transformers. That's why he always transforms to a tank. He can't be a toy gun anymore because you want to teach kids not to play with guns. Even though we had decades, literal decades, possibly even longer, of kids playing with gun-shaped objects that shot out something, if anything, or they're just playing cops and robbers or soldiers or cowboys, whatever, for decades on end.
Maybe you would show people what they would actually do if something happens, other than the fact that they actually find one and point it at someone.
Yeah, there's too many videos on the internet right now of dipshits shooting themselves playing with guns for rap videos or playing on TikTok or something because they don't think about it.
No.
At all. You know, but, you know, I grew up knowing about guns and having a proper respect and fear of them. You know, I was only allowed to shoot a gun if my dad was present and he loaded it for me and everything else like that. And, you know, I was taught all the rules. And all we had was 22s in the house for the longest time. You know, then we got bigger shit later, but, you know. Same difference, you know. But I grew up with pellet guns and BB guns, and you definitely learned respect for that because if you guys thought it was funny to shoot at each other, you learned your lesson real quick.
Yeah,
And I did not shoot my eye out.
Dude, airsoft guns are hurt too.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a collection of them buried in the closet and I never do anything with them. By the way, I forgot. I never showed you the minigun.
No.
The Nerf minigun.
Yeah.
So I'll pull it up for you. We leave today. Because it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
And if it's still available at Target, it was only like $45. You just need the batteries. And then buy the extended belts on Amazon so you can get the extra 100 rounds. It's a lot of fun. I don't know. Oh, the last thing that I wanted to talk about, because we're talking about universes that got fucked up. We actually talked about it last week about Doctor Who, how it seemed like Ncuti Gatwa did not have an exit scene.
I saw a little bit about what.
Oh, they did. They did something.
They split apart or merged, or what was that?
Nope, that was the original.
Okay.
So they did a bi-generation. His David Tennant Doctor, who was 14. So he's Doctor 14. He split into 14 and 15 instead of just changing into 15. First time that's ever happened, because that doctor wanted to stay and be with his human family on Earth and just relax. And because he still had the memory of the Time War and everything else that just had happened. And this new doctor wants to go out and have a new journey out in space. So that's where the last 2 seasons have gone. But the funny part is that people feel like they didn't get a chance to get to know this doctor. And that's fair, because they only had 16 episodes across 2 seasons when they used to do 13 episodes a year. So that's a huge difference, especially for a 2-year gap. You would have had 26 episodes with him instead. And that would have really made you feel like you had the character, whether or not you like the gay black doctor or not, you know? I mean, I'm giving up on the show entirely at this point. So I watched those 60th anniversary specials because David Tennant was involved, and hated most of them because that's how dumb they were. Lots of production value, but holy crap, the Disneyfication, the message coming out constantly. So, giant spoilers for everyone. Warning now, if you somehow manage to avoid it as any kind of Doctor Who fan, when Ncuti Gatwa regenerates, he turns into Billie Piper, who was Rose in the first 2 seasons and then throughout. So his companion that the doctor was in love with forever, and she was in love with him, who got locked off in a separate universe, he regenerates into her. One, the doctor going back to being a woman, already weird, because we just did this. 2, turning into a former companion. Like, what? Why? Because here's the other weird thing. In the credits, usually whenever they regenerate into the next doctor, at the bottom of the credits, it'll say this person as the doctor. It did not say that. It just said introducing Billie Piper. So what the hell? Because Rose as a character also has served a different purpose. At one point, she was the bad wolf. She absorbed the time vortex from the TARDIS, basically became a god across all time and space, could just bend reality to her will until it nearly killed her, and the Doctor took it out of her. So part of Rose basically remains in the TARDIS, but also because Bad Wolf exists across all time and space regardless. Whenever he does his regeneration in the show, he blasts a bunch of the energy into the core of the TARDIS, which is where Bad Wolf kind of comes from. So the theory is maybe it backlashed a little bit into the Doctor. It won't stay as her, but right now it looks like they may not have any plans to continue as it goes.
Okay.
They might take a break. But it looks like Disney is probably done with them. Good, because like that didn't work at all. Unfortunate. As her like lowest rated seasons ever. You know, if you're like still a young TV star, young movie star, and you come in to do this massive role for a 60-year plus show, and you get the lowest ratings in history, I wouldn't want to fucking be a part of it either.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because like everybody should get a chance to do this iconic role, right?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, I just didn't know if you had a call. You get a chance at this iconic role, but then for at least half the fandom to just quit on you because they don't like the storytelling, They don't like the characterization. They don't like the rewriting of history. Ironic in a time travel show, I know, but whatever. And that's where I left off. I watched the first season of the female Doctor, and I was like, this is garbage. Not because she's garbage. The show is garbage around the character, and then it got worse. It got so much worse, and then trying to start over with the rug pull of like, hey, David Tennant's back as the Doctor. But is he really? So even if they wanted to end with Ncuti Gatwa regenerating into a Rose Tyler type character, now you've got two people who are a love interest of each other on the show as the same character now. That's like extremely masturbatory if we're going to be fair here. Is like, because once again, we have at least that other Doctor just chilling, doing whatever he wants on Earth, just hanging out. The TARDIS itself split in two. So he has access to his TARDIS. The new Doctor had his TARDIS, which is also very strange that even happened. It's like everything about that and everything that they wrote new into the lore since Peter Capaldi left has made the show worse, in my opinion. And that's just me being a super nerd. That's basically like in Star Wars when they introduced midichlorians as to why the Jedi are special instead of just being people who had powers. Mm-hmm. Now we have a justifiable number and a reason. And now even to the point that we can give midichlorians to other people to make them powerful. It's like, okay, so you took the thing that was special and you said, nah, it's not really that special. Or now it's like the uber special. It's like take it, either make something that isn't special or you make the Doctor the center of everything, which is what they did. Like, oh, the Time Lords are only special because of the Doctor, not the Doctor is special as a Time Lord. But then they wiped his memory, so he didn't remember any of that. I was like, that's dumb. It's like, in my opinion, it's like the Timeless Child storyline is so stupid. It's like, can we just retcon all that shit? Like, nope, that didn't happen. I hate doing that, but it feels like what they need to do. But I think they're right. They should take a break. Take a step back. They did it for like 8 or 9 years in the 90s. Then it came back in 2005 for the reboot. So Paul McGann got his one attempt at doing the Doctor movie and then came back later as Christopher Eccleston. And then they retconned in an extra Doctor in between. But we don't talk about that one. Except when it's John Hurt, and that was awesome. So either way, that was a retcon everybody was happy with, even though it was very confusing. And then they came back later and went, oh, but it's because of this. And they're like, we like what you did, so we're not going to complain. It's like, that's kind of the end goal, right? It's like, if it's good enough for the story to make sense, even though it's dumb, people will accept it. If it's like story breaking and then people still accept it, you've got a problem with your fandom, in my opinion. And I think that's where Star Wars and Marvel and all that other stuff is going.
Yeah, talk about Star Wars. I saw something posted up the other day.
Oh, yeah?
About how the timeline should have been, like the original, branching out who the family members and everything else should have been.
Okay.
7, 8, and 9. That's basically is trash. It's been.
You just mean 7 and 8. There was no 9. 9 doesn't exist in this room.
In this room. Well, anyway,
in the canon of this room,
yes,
there's no 9.
The families that were there, were not how it's supposed to have been. So.
No, because we didn't get...
Ben wasn't supposed to be there. Ben's supposed to be Luke.
Yeah.
Luke's kid.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know about...
It was supposed to be all that. Everything was screwed up.
Jason, Jaina, Solo. Then Luke had his kid with Mara Jade.
Yeah.
All that. Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And everybody's like, get rid of those and redo it.
Yeah, but you can't. Like, it's like, that's the problem. Is like, you can add to the new canon. You can't take away.
Yeah.
Like you can retcon, but you can't take away the established characters. But you also should just know when it's over and stop pushing forward with the fucking Rey movie, even though those pictures came out this past weekend of what's her face. Daisy Ridley's been doing some work. There's some scenes of the behind.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, everybody's like, this whole weekend, it was literally like, we forgive Rey. Like, everybody's like, look at that ass. And we're like, we forgive Rey. It's like, guys, it's still going to be terrible. Nobody wants a Rey-centric movie after everything that just happened. We don't want to see Rey rebuilding the Jedi Order from whatever. She was taught nothing. It makes no sense.
See, I actually enjoyed the Solo movie.
Solo movie was fine, even though it was the most expensive movie up to date.
I know everybody was talking about how goofy and everything it was. It's like, well, that's how he first
And
started getting going. And
we were supposed to get another one, and then because they couldn't make their money back on it, they canned it.
Yeah, they're doing so well now with everything else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what happened with Solo? They had to shoot it twice.
Oh.
The first one sucked the first way they did it sucked so bad, they brought in Ron Howard to fix it.
Yeah.
And that's how we got this movie.
Should have had him anyways to begin with.
Yeah. I forget what exactly happened. I think it was the Lego movie guys did the first run. And it was a completely different movie. And then they basically reshot the entire movie. That's why it was so expensive. They made the movie twice. They didn't do reshoots a little bit. They should redid the movie.
Yeah.
At least Rogue One had some reshoots in it to make it slightly different at the end. And it was actually for the better.
Watch and see. That's what Superman's going to be like, too.
Maybe.
You can see the trailers and you got to see the movie and you're like, this
is not the movie we were. But as long as it's not original Suicide Squad bad reshoots, like that's a movie that absolutely suffered from reshoots and changing the story because the Joker was supposed to be the villain, and then it just made him a background character. Like Jared Leto was right to be pissed that they basically destroyed his character in that movie. You know. Oh, well, let the creatives do the thing and make sure the story makes sense. And if the movie is too silly and you want a different tone, okay, fix it, but don't destroy the entire movie in the interim.
Agree.
It's like you have a guy who does do funny violence, for lack of a better term. That's basically James Gunn in a nutshell. Funny and violent. It's like, okay, but you got to do a Superman movie in there somehow. Mm-hmm. Everyone else can be funny and violent. You know, if we don't have Batman in there to keep things super serious yet, everybody else can be somewhat silly. But yeah, no, this news with the Doctor, and if you're not into it, you're not into it. But I know longtime fans who literally gave up on it. I know some people are just like, I'll watch it no matter who. That's a good pun. I did not mean to make that pun, but it was a good one as I said it. You saw the gears working. I was like,
yes.
As the sentence is forming in my head, I was like, oh, that's a good pun. As I'm saying it, either way, but I can't anymore, man. It's like I'm so tired of all these IPs that I loved for decades just being run through the ringer by people who either don't care or they want to spread their message and they don't care about the story or the character. They just want to take. It's like anybody, like, okay, so The Acolyte. Leslie Headland was given that show, didn't know fuck all about Star Wars, just wanted to use the IP to tell the story she did. Looked at some of the stuff and went, okay, I can work with this to tell what I want to tell. It's like, that's not how you. No. Disney should have been like, no, we can't do that. It'd be like taking a major Marvel character and then just making a movie with them, even though you have established lore and it has nothing to do with anything and it changes the character entirely. Mm-hmm. Well, I just wanted the character so I could have people drawn in. It's like, no. No, you can do that in the comics where it doesn't matter. It doesn't cost $100 million and we'll lose you infinite things. We can just cancel a comic book run after 12 weeks. That's not that big a deal. I mean, it's kind of a big deal, but you know, if it didn't work in the comics, don't try to do it on the screen. It's like the nerds already told you we didn't want this, and then you fucked it up even worse. That's why I think Chris Hemsworth coming back to play a better, more serious Thor is actually a good idea, and hopefully that's what he said. That's what he intends on doing with Doomsday, going back to more serious Thor.
Well, you know, I had a theory and everything about with the Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
it wasn't his story; it was being told by. Gosh, what's the Rock character?
Gorg.
I
did think that I made that
because he's talking about it the whole time. So I think it's him goofiness. I think that's kind of how it was supposed to have been.
I literally said that when we did the review of the movie. I said that it's like maybe this was just Korg being a dumbass this entire time because he also was stuck on the back of somebody's head for a while and didn't see all the action.
Yep.
He also wasn't there at the end, so he wouldn't know how anything went unless Thor told him. Mm-hmm. And like I said, Thor Love and Thunder was like a good movie wrapped in whatever Taika Waititi did. Because Gore's story was great. Jane's story, kind of great. Thor's story, stupid until the end. That's the part that was so dumb about it. It's like you took two of the best stories from the comics, slapped them together in what should have been a very epic movie, and it made garbage. That was very pretty. That black and white scene on that whole planet was amazing. But everything else was stupid.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Although those shadow demon things that he was using are very, very similar to the symbiotes from the last Venom movie. So maybe there's some correlation there. Because also the sword, the Necro Sword, is the weapon of the god of the symbiotes. So hopefully we get some of that with Venom coming in through. But hopefully don't forget about that thread for like 7 years. And then they go, hey, by the way, we got Venom in here. We're talking about it. He's just poking around Mexico with a whole bunch of drunks until he finds Spider-Man, I guess. Also, yeah, some tiny bit of news about the new Spider-Man movie coming. Yep. Only the tiniest amount of news, but I don't know anything else. Other than I think they have a new MJ finally. Proper MJ, I think. Or was it Mary Jane? What was the main character they finally... Yeah, Mary Jane Watson finally coming in, I think. And be like, oh, so now you want to do the character properly after not doing it? Either way, it's fine. I don't want to talk about that anymore today. I'm tired. Either way, so that's going to be the end for the show, guys. We already lost the Jefe. That's one of the first times we lost somebody early. We are going a little bit long. It's 2:40, but it's okay. We had a lot to talk about. I have a voicemail from somebody. Might be Jessica. Either way, so guys, do the like and subscribe thing. Make sure you go follow us on the IG over at 9mia_pod. And, of course, go check out Chad's stuff at C4 Graphics if you need anything. And please, by all means, we'll take some more money, except on Mondays. Not on Mondays.
Not on Mondays.
Not on Mondays. It's fine. And we will hopefully have that announcement coming sometime soon about the things that will be happening for a live event, in theory. We'll see what happens. Still looking forward to that at the end of the month. That'll be very, very, very interesting. And then, of course, you can follow Jefe if you want. He doesn't post anything, but go check out the Grounded and the Grumpies over there. I wish you should just make that. I say that every week, but that's not the name. It's Grounded in Grumpy. But I think you should make it Grounded in the Grumpies. it's like
just change it up.
It's like, just change the name. I actually like that better. It's like maybe that'll be the Alaskan vlog, Grounded in the Grumpies. Because by the time they get to Alaska, a 2-week trip,
he's gonna be grumpy.
They're gonna be so grumpy. But we'll see you guys next week with I don't know what. I'm gonna hold Louis to next week because he was too busy. I'm gonna bring Louis back because Louis was supposed to come in and sub for Chad in case he wasn't going to make it. And then he said, no, we're good. We're going to make it. And it's like, okay, we'll just do the 4-man setup. And then he's like, hey, I ain't going to make it. Don't be mad. I was like, well, I got Chad back. So, I mean, I can only be so mad. But now we lost Jefe at the end. So whatever. It's one of those days, guys. We're going to go look at a Nerf gun. See you guys later. Right. And with that, okay, bye.